Wasn't a huge fan.
Poetry is annoying as fuck. Cause
I love it actually.
well, it's like when you take a poetry class, you're exposed to a bunch of poetry from a bunch of different time periods in a bunch of different styles, and it's like you'll find like a couple styles you like, so it's a good avenue for you to venture down on your own. But like as a whole, you end up reading a lot of stuff that you don't care for the class.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
like,
but I'd imagine it's
find a
probably
couple
similar
things.
to learning to program in a class. Like I feel like it's poetry and programming
I
you
would
should probably
say
learn on your
that
own.
is so not true.
I don't know about the programming thing. All I know is that I had to read fucking Beowulf and shit, and I'm like, ugh,
Beowulf
this is
is so hard to read.
fucking
Do you
hard
think
to read.
programming classes are good?
No,
I
I'm
think they
just
suck.
it's comparing it to like a poetry class is like apples and oranges.
Suppose.
They could both be bad apples and bad oranges. That doesn't change the fact that they're different fruits.
But they're both rotting. So that's a thing in common. Venn diagram solved.
We did it, team. We solved the Venn diagram.
You
We all
solved.
gain a level.
You solved my fruit mystery.
We did it. You solved my riddle. You are the riddle master.
I've actually
Best
been
shit
listening
ever.
to a shit ton of Adventure Zone lately, so.
Yay!
Yeah. Now you can see why me and Walker like it so much.
Yeah, it makes the commute to work pretty fun.
And you can see, I think, probably where me and Walker were taking our characters and how we tried to just not become Taco. Like, try to just
So,
like,
Psychomera?
not directly. Yeah, Psychomera. Well, I made Psychomera before I
Adventure
found
Zone.
Adventure Zone. However, I will say that most of Psychomera's personality is me instinctually trying to become Taco, and then also instinctually trying to buck that.
I don't
that, like,
know
idea.
if you remember it, Dart, but my goblin was fucking Taco.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Voice
your
and all.
goblin was literally almost like 1-to-1.
Hey Darp,
Yes, sir.
you're a $5 supporter on this, right?
Yes,
Or
sir.
like did you see the Fog of War update?
No, what'd they change?
You can set Fog of War zones in the dynamic lighting that only update on dropping your token. So basically, like, you have to go into the Fog of War to see what's ahead. Like, it reveals as you go.
Oh, so it works like Warcraft. Fog of War.
Yeah.
Dude, we've been asking for that for literally
I know.
like 3 years.
I know, and they finally got it. So, like, if you walk into a room and see the tokens, if you leave, you still know the room is there, but the tokens you can't
Oh,
see.
so you can still see the map where you've been. Dude, that's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
dope.
I know, right?
I love how much this tickles
I'll be
you.
perfectly honest, like, that was my main reason for never fucking doing the line of sight shit. I found it super annoying when we were, like, when you can't see where you've already gone, even if it's still in, like, Fog of War mode.
Yeah.
Now it's on there.
Oh, that's so
I
good.
think it's
I
in
actually
beta,
might fucking
but
do
they're
this
working
now.
on it. But like, it seemed to be generally pretty easy. Basically, just shade an area, and your lighting effects are all there. So like, you can put down lamps and stuff that have lighting, and like walls for line of sight.
And honestly, like, all they would have to do, they don't even have to do any of this complicated shit. All they have to do is give us the ability to give the players opacity through the Fog of War. Because then, well, through the vision and stuff. Because then you can do dynamic lighting and Fog of War and use it to reveal areas where they've been, and they can just see it.
Yeah, but like this way, you can still keep tokens there and everything.
That's
So like,
awesome.
Yeah, that is really nice.
I saw that and I was like, ooh, I'm like half mast.
Okay, so
like,
when
I'm
are we
thinking of the
getting 3D dice skins? Because they posted that on the blog two and a half years ago, and I haven't fucking forgot. Okay.
Chris just sitting outside Roll20 headquarters.
Well, no, I
listening,
keep
doing the,
going
watching
through the
you
blog
shit.
looking for it, and I can never find it. They haven't mentioned it again since then. And Tanner sounds like a robot.
Maybe that's just him
I
like
don't even
blending
hear him.
something.
Was that Tanner or was that who's got
I
the
think that
static
was, I
going
think
on?
that was Tanner. Unless that's me.
I think Tanner was legit using a blender.
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That
No,
boy
I was taking a
blended.
piss.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
could have done without that information.
While you're using the blender,
He's peeing
I'm
into
never
the
gonna
blender.
eat it.
That's
I'm
just-
never
that's
eating a
danger.
smoothie at your house, dude.
Press to talk is a wonderful thing.
Nope.
Never.
You're getting the full experience.
I've already had the full experience. I stayed the night over there.
Who did you?
Yeah, I did.
Still looking
You
for
haven't
that
stayed
Instagram.
the night
I
where
remember-
I am.
No, well, no, because you were with
At
Lauren at the time.
Lauren's.
Yeah. I remember distinctly waking up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I remember thinking, "Who the fuck is pouring a pitcher of water into the toilet?" And then I found out it was you peeing for like a minute straight.
Yeah, it was me pouring my pitcher out.
There you go.
I've literally never heard anyone piss that long in my life. It was insane.
Yep.
Dude, the other day it was like 5 minutes. Like,
Right, but this was like full, like it literally
yeah,
sounded like
full
someone
screen.
pouring a
It was just
pitcher.
like, I
into the
really
toilet.
had to go.
With great
How
bladder
funny
comes
would
great
it be?
responsibility.
How funny would it be though if Tanner was like, "I'm gonna fuck with Chris. I'm just gonna take a whole fucking pitcher of water into the bathroom with me in the middle of the night, and I'm just gonna plant the seed of this joke, and in like 20 years, I'm gonna harvest it, and it's gonna be wonderful."
Well, anywho, a brief synopsis of last time. So you guys went off in search of the Pinhead. Elise, I think was her name. Yep, Elise. You did find her, but unfortunately she had already fallen victim to the phase spider that you killed.
That bitch is dead.
You brought her wrapped body back, I think. Did you leave it in the spider thing?
No, we brought her back.
Right,
Yeah, we
but
brought her back
I
to
can't
the
remember if you
crew.
left her like wrapped in silk or whatever.
Yeah, I think we brought her back as found.
Okay.
I'd second that.
Yeah.
So so the Crooked Kin took their fallen comrade from you, and they gave somebody a very special dagger, which I believe was a +1 humanoid shapeshifter bane dagger.
Mine.
Yeah, I believe that is Xantham.
Genesis, but yes.
Xenesis. Man,
I know.
I can't fucking... Why do you have to name all your characters Z shit?
Because my name's Zuzu, it's just too cool to
worst.
not.
I'm gonna make
You would
my next
think-
character
you
named
would-
Brian.
You, Brian.
As long as it's
Not
not
Ryan.
Magic Brian.
Actually, now that you have started listening to the Adventure Zone, Chris, Captain Jack Jones is on the quest to kill Magic Brian.
Oh my gosh.
Which is gonna be really difficult considering that they occupy completely different canons.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be a very difficult...
I mean,
quest.
also in fairness, he's based on a character from Once Upon
From
a
a
Time.
totally different world.
from a different world.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
travels
three different
realms.
worlds
Like,
at work. Like,
he travels realms in Once
We
Upon a
need
Time. Like,
a universe Venn diagram to see how this character
Oh my
came to
oh
gosh.
be.
my god.
Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to make every single hero card handout. I finished Please and Leopold's. You guys will both see that your fortune is a little more flushed out than it was when I presented it 2 weeks ago. So you might
Where
wanna-
is
that'll be under handouts.
Hondu's got it?
It should be a harrowing dream.
I'm pretty sure I remember
Got
mine,
it.
and I also already copy and pasted all my, like, all the card effects and everything
Good.
into my sheet.
I will have handouts for the rest of you soon. There is some Photoshop work that had to be done that I ran out of time for. I got a little overzealous.
Yeah, happens.
But yeah, I think you'll find that you two were the first ones that I did. I think you'll find that your fortunes make a little more sense now, and are a little more well-rounded than when I presented them before. And I'm sorry that you were the guinea pigs last time, because everybody else
It's fine.
really had pretty flushed out fortunes. 'Cause I got pretty good at it toward the end.
Yeah, I got to go last.
They say best for last.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that Tanner's was particularly terrifying, so that'll be
Yep.
fun.
Cringing and crying.
Yep. So you guys are just outside the city of Tamrivena. You can kind of decide what you want to do from here.
So is it we finished this this quest now, like after we like brought this girl back, and I think we did like a little like prayer over her body and shit.
I believe so. Yep.
I
Well,
guess it's like
actually-
nightfall now.
If I recall correctly, they thought you were doing a prayer when really you were trying to detect evil. See if you have to smite them. with
Well,
a sword.
I did a prayer and detected evil.
Right,
um,
the same thing.
Yeah, but they were different actions. I think they just assumed that me detecting, but detect evil for an inquisitor we established is not a spell that I actually cast.
Yep. You don't have to
Like-
verbalize it.
Yeah, there are no visual components. It's an ability,
Neat.
which I will try not to abuse.
He just wills it to happen.
Yeah, it's very weird.
No,
Yeah.
don't feel like you're abusing it. That's totally fine.
It's got elf
I mean,
eyes.
I'll use it when I'm not. My point is, I'm not just gonna keep it running constantly. It'll be something that I'll use
It's like,
when
oh,
I
I met a new
have a
person to detect
suspicion.
evil.
Yeah,
Detect
that
good?
fuck that shit.
Detect law?
Yeah. I think you can only detect evil though, right? Or is it
You can
detect
only-
alignment?
You can detect
detect alignment.
evil, good, or I think something else, but you can only
Law
have
and chaos?
one at a time. Chaos, yeah. But or law and chaos, yeah. But you can only choose. You have to choose one. You can't keep all four running all the time.
Okay. So yeah, it is now nightfall.
Is it too far from where we are to get into the town? Or
Yeah.
is that close enough that we could go and maybe find an inn?
Well, how far out of town are you? That's the question.
We just made it out of Maiden Snarl. Not too far then.
You've been traveling for most of the day, so you could travel the remaining distance, but it might fatigue you.
I
But you
believe
could sleep off, I suppose.
I believe I needed to recover some constitution, so I needed to spend a few days resting anyway. I got fucked.
Yeah, Havelock
Yeah,
wants
I need
to.
at least 3 days to recover.
Havelock would prefer to keep going, but especially since he's weirded out by the Carney people, but if he sees that Pali is like hurting, then he'd be fine with making camp.
And
Did you
also
say
we
Carney people?
Well, what
Yeah,
I'm
they
they're
are
they're
Carney
essentially
people.
carnies. Yeah.
they're
They
Carnies.
literally
yeah.
are Carney people.
My point was that if we force march into town, we'll be fatigued for like a day, but
Yeah,
we need to
fuck
spend
it.
at least 3 days in town for me to recover. So that might as well just go
Oh,
to
so we
town.
might as well just do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, I'll help you walk there, Pali. Give you an arm, or you can ride piggyback on me. I got tons of strength.
I am gonna do that.
Okay.
Are you guys camping out near them, or did you like make some distance?
We're going
I
into
think we're
town.
walking to Tamrivena.
Okay, going to town. Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, the Crooked Kin bids you good night as you continue on the road north.
We'll see them in Lepistad, yeah? That's where
Probably.
they're headed. Man, imagine they're gonna put on a show.
Okay.
What are they called? The Crooked Kin?
The Crooked Kin. Yep.
That's what they call
That's a cool
themselves.
name.
That's what it says on the side of every single wagon.
They sound like they're a gang.
They're carnies.
Okay, so essentially a gang. Got it.
Well, yeah, okay.
All
not
right.
gonna fight
So let's make the sounds go away because it's not a lively town at this hour. Just a moment.
So would we be doing a forced march?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty short distance,
Yes.
though.
Yeah, because I get a bonus because I have endurance. I get a
Hey.
+4 to avoid non-lethal damage from a forced march.
Hey.
I don't know if that would factor in, but
I'm mostly
pretty
gonna
sure you're not
ignore
nearly
it.
dead.
You're gonna be really tired when you get to town, but I'm mostly gonna ignore it because you're just gonna go to sleep anyway.
I figure Havelock's token will just be party at the moment.
I just imagine that I'll feel slightly less fatigued.
Yeah, I'm pretty
than
sure we don't
the
even
rest
need
of
to
the party.
spend a full 8 hours, or for an hour marching, because it's 5 miles.
Are you checking my scale?
Maybe I am.
It's pretty
Do we
close.
really
Yeah.
have to?
Well, yeah, I want to know the size of this place.
Big.
I'm an engineer, damn it,
Big.
and I solve practical problems. So
So-
not an enormous town by any means.
No, it's not gigantic, but it's pretty big.
Certainly bigger
Certainly
than
larger than Ravengrove.
Mm-hmm. Like 12 houses to the whole place.
So, as you approach the town, there's a few houses out here on the outskirts. A couple are just shacks, but all the lights are out because it's, at this point, it's like, I don't know, like 10 or 11 p.m. It's pretty late. Most people are going to sleep.
So I'll probably just go to a...
Up ahead of you, you can see some large granite walls that almost look whitewashed, and the moonlight is kind of shining off of them, and it makes them look like they're glowing a little bit.
Ooh.
Is this place up here?
Yep.
Pale stone.
As Havelock makes the ooh sound, Flea makes the shape with his mouth, as if he was saying ooh, but no sound comes out.
Hey, Whitney.
Also, I thought I was riding on your back.
She
Well,
says hi.
I didn't
Hi.
mean to do that.
There you go. You can control my character, so drag me into town.
I will start crossing the bridge and approaching Palestone, carrying Pali piggyback style.
Ilix
Zenith
is
is
kind of
drowning.
ooh and eyeing, because this is as close as she's let herself get to a large set, like a human large settlement.
Yeah, I suppose
So
that
this is all.
the fort would look kind of foreboding, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Ravengrove is the biggest town you'd probably ever been in.
Yeah.
I'll say, Ilix, don't worry about it. Think of it like this. This is like a human forest, and all the houses are trees.
But they
Well,
used to be.
Yeah.
I imagine you don't sleep on the roofs. So much wasted space.
Oh
I
no,
once
silly.
knew an alchemist who did that,
Oh, man.
but no, we commonly don't. That sort of defeats the point of the roof.
Mm.
So you get about 200 feet out, and you hear a guard shout, "Halt! Who goes there?"
Your mom. I'm kidding.
I don't think that's likely. What's your
Your
business?
Greetings. We are travelers weary from the road. We're heading to Lepidstadt, and we hope to find accommodations for the night.
Oh, heading to the trial.
Yes,
Oh, but
indeed.
the monster, right?
We've heard rumors.
The Beast of Lepidstadt, was it?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, just
as-
one second. I'm chewing my food. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ilix is going to he has her hood up and is going to step next to what's your fucking Havelock, and sort of turn her head away so that the guard can't see what she's saying, and just very quietly say, perhaps it's best they think that we operate as though we are only going to the trial. There may be interested parties in our baggage that we want to avoid turning on.
You there. Put your hood down. Let me get a good look at you all.
No, don't be
I-
racist.
Oh God.
I take my hat off and wave it at him.
Did you say that out loud, Suzu?
No, yeah, it's 2 elves.
I kind of half-heartedly say that, but not too loud. I don't know. If he hears it, he hears it.
Okay.
A sarcastic
Illic-
tone of voice.
Illic sizes him up for a second, but does pull her hood back, revealing her little
Whiteness.
headband thing.
Oh, good, good. No orcs. You're welcome then. Can't be too careful. You hear a winch start to turn, and the doors begin to open.
I whispered it to fuck. What's Xenesis?
Mhm.
He was kind of racist, but I guess it was okay.
They're
An
racist
okay
against
kind of
us.
racism.
Right.
I'll look up at him and I'll say, blessings of the Grey Lady upon you, friend. And carry Pali past. And also, I didn't get to mention it, but when you waved your hat, Leopold, I couldn't wave because I'm carrying Pali, but I do wave his legs sort of at him, like hello.
Like fucking Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He's just already asleep.
Ilix will, as we're moving in, if there's a moment where we're all kind of by ourselves, she wants to have a huddle and say the same thing that she said to Havelock, except more clearly, that if anybody asks what we're doing, we should just say that we're simply traveling to see the trial. It's best not to let any information about what we're
It's not a
carrying
lie.
with us slip.
Yeah, I would whisper to Pali, perhaps we should use our please signs to each other. No one else but us and other monks, I guess, that have taken that vow know it.
Yes, but best be discreet.
So where's the
I
nearest inn?
definitely agree.
So, you guys get in here, and it does look like there's just sort of a little clearing here inside the gate, where it looks like they must check people out,
Mm-hmm.
make sure they're not carrying any contraband or something. You guys can see that there's nobody down here right now, but there's a guy coming down the stairs towards you, who looks kind of like the guy you saw up on the wall, but you're not really sure because he was pretty far away.
Mm-hmm.
I suddenly realized the word contraband may mean our books. Oops. Hopefully they're legitimate. We never checked.
Did they say they were going to search us for contraband? Sorry, my
They
headset's
haven't-
cutting out a
I
little
don't
bit.
know.
They
Okay.
haven't said anything yet.
Well, we fucked up.
You
I
could.
will kind of elbow Xenesis forward to perhaps be the one to speak. And I'll
Then
just
I'll
kind of
back up.
smile knowingly and nod at her.
Are we
Like,
speaking about the books?
what's your magic? We are not.
Don't
we are
talk
literally
about the
any
books.
other topic.
Okay.
Literally any other topic. would be fine.
Is too distracted by the beautiful water
Just like
and her own reflection.
I
As
elbow
soon
Xenesis back into the back of the group again.
I guess I'll talk.
So the man reaches the bottom of the staircase, and he's now probably a few feet from you. He's got a couple guards behind him that are wearing helmets.
Evening.
Evening, travelers. My name is Daladman. Okay.
What?
How are you doing,
You're-
Daladman?
Daladman Quinn is his name.
I'll reach-
Sorry.
I'll reach out
guess
and
his
shake
Call you
his hand.
mother-
Quinn.
I guess his mother was uncertain. Sounds like she had a question mark on the end
I
there.
hate you.
Greetings, Daladman. My name
said-
is Havelock, and
Thank you.
these are my companions. Pali, wave Pali, say hello.
Play waves.
Leopold, Ilix, and Xenesis.
Mm.
We were hoping to find somewhere. We are but weary travelers. If
Brings that up a lot.
one might call us soldiers of faith. If there were
I-
only a place we could rest nearby.
Plea looks at the
Oh,
guard with
jeez.
like the sickest expression on his face, like, please, I'm dying and need rest. Like, that's the expression
Also-
on Plea's face right now.
Perhaps a doctor.
I see. Your friend does look quite ill. Can he not speak?
No.
Unfortunately, I don't know if he has the energy for it, but in either case, he is a monk of the faith of Pharasma and has taken a vow not to speak. So in any case, he is unable.
Oh, well then perhaps you could find shelter in Soldier's Rest to the north.
Excellent idea. Thank you very much.
You have a good night, sir.
I
Quinn.
give the guard a thumbs up.
You might take care to be respectful of the other deities there.
There are other deities in Soldier's Rest? Or just...
You might call it a...
That sounded like me being a troll. That was me misspeaking
Well, like,
Yeah.
it must
what
be
I
like deities
intended.
that like aren't
I'm just like
normally.
imagining this guard telling us, be wary of the other deities. There's like, wait,
Yeah.
there are gods literally
We are-
100 feet from
We are
us.
God woken.
Oh my
That
God.
wasn't me being a dick.
I know,
That
I know.
was...
Yeah,
It's
you,
Are
definitely
they
a bit of
like-
an interpretation.
Are they like gods that normally aren't like revered in most places, or is it just that there's a lot of them?
it's sort of
I think he's just...
It's sort of the
Don't
Place-
shove Pharasma down other people's throat.
it's sort of the place of worship for many religions here in Tamrivena.
Well, as an Inquisitor of Pharasma, I don't think that bothers me much. I think I'll just look at him and I'll say, as long as there are none who worship Urgathoa here, I think we'll be fine.
Ha!
He just
He-
reaches up his fucking.
He laughs and slaps you on the shoulder. We would never let their kind through the gates.
Oh my.
Excellent. This is the place for us.
This is where I retire.
Well, let's not get carried away. I don't think I'm allowed to retire.
It's
I'm
a
sure
good
there's
point.
something in the code. Otherwise, I think I would have
But
retired already.
Inquisitor's work is never done.
Does any other
Yeah.
business take you to Lepistad?
Well, as an Inquisitor of Pharasma, I'm sure that you can understand my interest in this case, this trial for the monster.
Yes, I know you're going to attend the trial, but does any other business call to you?
I say, well, I was actually looking to see if there was anyone in this town or even Lepistad who might be able to purchase some of my wares if I can find someone who was able to buy them. But that's probably.
What
not
are you
going to
peddling, sir?
happen. Well, it's more of a specialty item, and I bring out Gracie and kind of show it.
Oh my
Essentially,
gosh.
I can make these.
What
He
manner
makes
of
these
what manner of contraption
strange-
is this?
Apparently, we have them up in was it Isfahan? It's Isfahan, right?
I don't know.
It's where I came from.
with a question mark on the end.
Yeah, Isfahan. It's always Isfahan.
A lot of uncertain namers in this neck of the woods.
Oh, Irison. Irison. Up in Irison, we use them for, well, hunting, self-defense, various things. Slowly replacing the bow, although it is a little tad expensive.
Replacing the bow?
Yes.
How could such a small device replace the bow?
You'd be surprised. I don't want to wake everyone up, though, so I'm not going to use it.
It's loud. Okay.
It's very loud. Ask Plea. If he were awake, he'd probably nod.
I look at him and
Oh, he
just
is awake.
like I
Sorry,
look
you're
at it as
very
like
quiet.
I sign. You don't want to hear this, and he won't understand that. But I'm gonna
Good
sign
point.
it anyway.
Yes, they're like wands, but they only cast one spell, and it's called
It's very
Bullet,
painful.
and
very
it's
painful.
incredibly loud.
You can see that the captain of the guard is very much eyeballing this device. He doesn't seem like he's sure if it's good or not, but you can tell he's intrigued.
I assure you, it would be only it's as dangerous as a club right now, unless I decide to actually do something with it. But it's fine. I don't expect to be using it here, and there's no wood to knock on, but I certainly hope I don't have to.
Well, perhaps if the orcs come a knocking, you will have that handy.
Oh, I've no
How-
doubt I will.
How often do they come a knocking?
Oh, it's been a few years yet. We're about due, I say.
Oh boy.
Sir, would you mind? We're going to be in town for a few days. Are there any other interesting locations? I'm sure that those of us that are not healing our wounds from our most recent outing, I suppose, we might need a way to entertain ourselves for about 3 days.
I haven't ever been much for tourism.
Any fine yet rustic architecture, perhaps?
Fuck you. Suppose you could check out the Nathras village to the northeast or northwest.
I was thinking, like, in the town, like the river house, or
Nathras village is like
oh, it is. I see. Okay.
right outside the wall.
He seems
Yeah,
to
I
be
see.
kind of smirking when he suggests that, though.
I take it that's the slums.
All right. Here we go, boy. No wait. I've been training all my life for this. Ha.
Yeah, you think he might be trying to get you to go visit the slums.
Nathras village. Sounds charming. I say, and I'm not hiding my skepticism.
I'll be right back.
I was okay. I guess if that's all he says, then that's fine. I'll suggest that
So
perhaps
I guess if you're being skeptic, then he might have more to say. Let's see.
Can I knowledge local it to see if I can go into any more detail?
You can see if you know anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
No, I can't
what?
even knowledge local it. I don't have that. I'm so used to playing a bard. God.
I know, right?
Damn. I know nothing. Which makes sense. I've never been here.
I'm afraid that we really don't have much in the way of landmarks or museums or other tourist attractions here. You could perhaps check out the river house. It's our courthouse here. Perhaps you could make yourselves useful and make a few coin.
I kind of have a slight internal. The last time we went in a courthouse,
Hmm.
the whole thing got fired.
Yeah, it did
Maybe
go
not.
a bit poorly. Maybe we shouldn't mention that though.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just having that internal like.
Well, perhaps this is a question for tomorrow. For tonight, I think we should rest soon.
At the Soldier's Rest. No less.
Very good.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you for your time.
have a good night, folks. He
You as well.
opens up the door for you so you can walk into the city.
All right. Guess I'll carry Poli's almost unconscious form to the Soldier's Rest.
I'm gonna point out that, like, I have very little con right now, but I have 20
Fully
health.
lucid. Okay.
Yeah.
He's just very like gaunt, and like his eyes are sucked in, like sunk. And he's
Yeah,
just
I look
sitting on your back looking like a
shriveled.
corpse.
Like I may have lost some muscle mass and some weight, and like not looking so great, but I'm not dying.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
You feel like it, but you're really not. That's just the blood coming back. You're fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way towards the Soldier's Rest. The top of it is a sort of a spiked dome. It's kind of onion shaped. It's an onion dome, I guess. It looks like one of those Russian
minaret?
one of those Russian domes that look like an onion.
No, they're
kind of.
not minarets. What
Okay.
the? Shit, I know what those are.
Be right back.
A fluted buttress. I don't know what that is. I made it up, but it sounds like it could be it.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
You can tell that there's a lot of pharasmic symbolism here. but there's also small like shrines and like painted glass to the deities Aristil, Gorum, Iomade, and Torag.
Gorum. Torag, I think Pharasma didn't like. Can you give me those again?
Yeah. Aristil, Gorum, Iomade, and Torag.
Oh, no, I think I know who he is. Well, I don't know.
Torag is
but-
the god of secrets, I think, right?
No,
I don't
Iomade would
think-
be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no, Iomade is the goddess, sorry. You can give me a knowledge religion if you want to know more about the deities, but I'll say that as an inquisitor of Pharasma, you absolutely recognize their symbolism.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
It's too late at night, you're too tired, you don't remember much. You just want to get to bed, you're having a hard time.
Yeah. Fuck it, let's get to bed. Yeah, I'm
So,
pretty sure
are
that
they
I
selling-
would know most of them, though.
Are there any rooms for rent? I approached the proprietor.
1 second, I'm actually looking up Torag real quick.
Ah.
Oh, Torag is the dwarf god.
Oh.
He's the god of the forge, protection, and strategy.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, dude, at first I thought Torag was the secret one, and I was like, that seems like a weird one for them to have here. Yeah,
You're
he's
thinking
cool.
of Iriori, maybe?
A different one. I'll find it eventually. Iomade, I like a lot.
Yeah, she's hot. Oh, what?
That's not what I meant.
I'm kidding. So you approach Soldier's Rest. The door is basically closed right now. Like it's old, so there you can see some light coming through like the crack in the middle, but it's low. It's like candlelight beyond the door.
Yeah, I think we can inquire about rooms to rent, and my first thought would be let's hit the hay.
Okay. What do you guys do?
Purchase a room. Are there any rooms for rent?
So are
I don't know if
you
it's sir or
are you
madam.
knocking on the door or going in or?
Oh yeah, I guess we're knocking on the door because we're not actually
Yeah.
in yet.
Yep. I phase through the door.
Yep.
Real low.
Just congeal
And
through
then
it like
glitch
the Terminator.
backwards because you're lagging.
Yeah, I lag through the door.
Shit, sorry guys. I saw what's inside. Don't go in. He just runs off.
Okay. You knock. A few minutes go by and there's no answer.
I will knock
Hmm.
again. This time I will knock in a.
The fuck?
This time, you hear the shuffling of feet, and a man opens up a little like window inside the door frame, and he says, "Hello."
Yes, hello. We were wondering if there were any rooms for rent here.
Oh yes, please come in. You hear some more shuffling and like some metal clanging sounds, like a wood bar getting lowered,
Whoa.
and then the
Secure.
door creaks open, and before you stands a hunched over monk who looks like he's rather old.
I come in and, I don't know if there's any form of thing. I guess I'll just introduce everyone on our way in. It's just basically saying, we're just sorry for the late intrusion. We're just travelers, but we didn't know if there was anywhere that was open. Glad you actually answered.
Oh no problem at all. No problem at all. Yes, yeah. Oh yes. And he bows to plea. He says, I think we probably have some floor space over here if you want to just lay your bedrolls out. I don't think we have any spare rooms tonight, I'm afraid.
Is it like Jimmy Jam packed in here? Well, not like I'd know.
You don't suspect that they get travelers very often, and since the trial, they're probably seeing a lot
Oh,
more
yeah, good
travelers
point.
than they're used to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, better than sleeping outside. Well, actually. I think Ilix might have.
I was gonna say,
Opinion.
Alex would give you a
Yeah. She's already on the roof.
Do you have? I was about to say, do you have roof space?
But he leads you to a corner of the room where there's a nice little campfire carved into the wall, or just fireplace. Sorry, and it seems to be like a study area. He moves a couple chairs for you, with rather loud creaking sounds as they scrape across the ground.
Yeah.
But after he makes some space. He's like, I believe this will be sufficient, and he kind of waves his arm over some floor space, and it does look like it's enough to fit the 5 of you.
That's fine. I'll put Plea down, lay out our beds, and bunk it up.
As we sit down for the night, I go, a spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
Oh my god. They form a powerful 5th element. Boron.
Boron.
Oh.
So,
it's
how
too
many
bad that
people
you're
are-
a mute monk, please, because I would love to hear fucking monk sound
God
effects
damn
out
it.
of you.
I was actually talking and like my microphone was muted because of meeting.
Oh.
So
I was wondering how far away you were. I was like, man, he's been gone a while.
no, I was here. I am going to. Did we decide who was carrying the books that we're transporting, or is that kind of like up in the air? If it's up in the air, then I'm
You
going
should definitely
to.
decide that.
Okay.
Who would be the least suspicious to be carrying them?
Definitely not a cleric. Well, wouldn't clerics have books?
I feel that most people would trust healing hands of Pharasma over like
I
the
mean,
gunslinger,
I feel like
inquisitor.
they're probably gonna be in someone's backpack anyway.
I mean, I'll take them, but I don't know.
It may
I
be
mean-
best that we spread them out,
Yeah,
If
so
I
that
had-
if one of us is taken,
Yeah.
yeah.
not all of them are taken.
True. That might help.
That's a good point.
Could I do a knowledge local to see if I have heard anything about this sort of crap?
What do you
I'd
mean,
imagine
this
it'd be
sort of
pretty
crap?
high. Well, like, if these books are, like, not okay in most places. Because, I mean, we never really thought about that. Because there's a lot of places that are very superstitious. And, like, what if these books, if I recall correctly, talk about, like, necromantic stuff? if I
Yeah, one of
recall.
them is a book of an evil deity. So yeah.
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 So,
Let's see.
I mean,
Unknown Tome, Umbral Leaves, Serving Your Hunger, and Unverified Madness.
so, like, would these,
Actually,
like...
2 of them are evil
Yeah,
deities.
Serving Your Hunger is an
even better.
Ergothoan
Yes.
one, right? Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
that shit.
But, like...
Hmm.
Could I guess everyone's
The
asleep.
unknown
There's no way
tome
I'd be able to overhear.
is locked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
So the
I
rest are
opened
just
that thing.
books, which might be banned books, but the one that is super ominous is locked.
Is the one
in.
with the lock on it, yeah.
So assuming that we do, are we like? Do we want to split it up? Is that something that we want to do?
That probably would be best.
Okay.
That might be the best. The only thing I'm thinking is that it might not be considered super weird for an Inquisitor to
Yeah, I was
have
thinking
confiscated that
Contraband,
stuff.
exactly. Like if you
Confiscated.
should at least have the Book of Ergothoa, because if you've confiscated
makes
that,
sense.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it would make sense that I would confiscate it. Because
For
makes
it's
you look like a
literally
traitor.
sacred
direct opposite.
destruction later.
I don't know. Maybe it's for secret inquisitorial, like, I don't know. Maybe keep
Laughs inquisitorially.
Yep.
it. That's
Oh,
not it. That was
my
not
God.
What
my
better way to
inquisitorial.
know your enemy than to read their book
I don't know. Maybe.
or turn to the dark side, whichever.
But yeah, I mean I think canonically that would make sense
they've
for me
got
at least
Death
to carry
Star.
that one. Yeah.
If you don't mind, I would like to hold on to the unknown tome, and I'm gonna put it in my backpack and use my backpack as a pillow while I sleep. And would recommend that you guys do the same, so that like you're sleeping while in the books.
Hit the books. Let's see. Umbral Leaves. The Unholy Book of Zon Kuthan.
Yep.
These are all pretty much bad.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense that if we're bringing this to either a private collector or a library, that they would have it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're delivering it right into the hand. Oh, well,
Oh.
hopefully not, because then that would mean Professor Lorimer's evil.
So,
I should hope
And we've
not.
been
were
played.
you wanting to give me a knowledge local on that?
I mean, it'd probably have to be pretty high, but fuck, why not?
Nope.
That's a good
That'll
roll.
work.
Hey.
Tamrivena.
Like, yeah,
You know, Tamrivena, like most cities in Ustalav, is a rather superstitious place. You also know that they tend to be racially intolerant towards half-orcs, orcs, and Khelids and the like. You know, they're mostly fine with dwarves and elves and humans and all those rather...
Khaled.
Yeah. What else? You know, they're governed by a council. There are a fair amount of shops in the area. And you know, geez, with that roll, you know that Soldiers Rest, but the Pale Stone where you came through. You know that that is probably the least invasive entrance into Tamrivena because it is run by a group called the Four Guard. And they're generally less likely to subscribe to the Wall Guard, which is a different set. The Wall Guard has these theories of disguised orc agents and anarchic Khelid cultists, and
Paranoia, essentially.
yeah, they're a little more paranoid as far as guards go than the Four Guard are. So you know that's mostly why you had such an easy time coming through.
Are these the people? Are these people in Fort Vilid? Vilid? Up here? There's the Wall Guard, or?
The Wall Guard is kind of everywhere else.
Okay. So, like, your average town guard might be semi-paranoid about this stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
You also know, let's see, somewhere in here, let me find his name. You know that they're pretty superstitious against magic and that kind of thing, but let me find, there's a specific paragraph I'm thinking of. With a 23, no one's really sure exactly when it happened, but at some point within the last 5 years, the Wall Guard stopped being the city's well-trained constabulary and changed into an occupying army of overzealous, watchful counterspies and enforcers of social standards. While they strictly enforce the letter of the law, the quickness with which they drag suspects to the dungeons causes most citizens to avert their eyes and hurry past to their precisely organized patrols. There are increasingly strict laws regarding passage through the town, what goods are permitted for sale, and what constitutes most morally appropriate services. Fines have been levied against shops, and they've been shut down for people selling things that they shouldn't have been or operating their business in ways that they didn't approve of.
Any specifics as to items that are prohibited?
No, I think you'd have to live here to really know
Yeah.
that.
I just know that they're superstitious, they're paranoid, and they have been more and more often being more of a bully than actually guarding people. Fining and taking people away and the like. So perhaps
Yeah,
it is best
and you
to
know
leave.
there are some laws surrounding magic and its use, but
Yeah.
you're not quite sure exactly what they are.
These guys
Luckily,
are more
I'm
like,
about as magic as a stone.
these guys are more like Gestapo than
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
cops.
I'm gonna.
Yes, it's very Puritan.
I'm gonna sign to my friends is like, just keep the books in your bag and go about business as usual. Just don't
Mhm.
act weird. Like no one's
So,
gonna
I
just
guess
stop
I'll
you
have
and look in your bags.
I guess I'll have to wait to sell stuff. I was gonna go in the morning and see if anyone, because if we were gonna be here
I
for a day
mean,
while
you
you
can
rested.
sell stuff. I mean, I can walk around town and stuff. I just have to
Well,
rest for 3 days to recover my constitution.
I just figure for 3 days it's enough to actually, if someone was possibly wealthy enough to buy it, I could sell.
Yeah, I mean, you
Well,
can still
we're gonna-
sell stuff. Like
We're
it's
heading
you
to
don't have to
Lepidstadt,
empty your
though.
bag to.
Lepidstadt's like the main city. I mean, there's surely somebody gonna be there to buy it. I would rather not tempt fate
Mm.
or the DM.
Yeah.
I believe it's best that we all stick together. If they're that quick to drag someone off,
Numbers will
Well,
keep us safe.
I don't want
Plea-
to never see any of you again.
Is gonna walk up to the monk
Thanks, Alex.
that's in charge of this inn.
Yeah, that
And
was
signed-
warm as fuck for Illich.
I know, right? Like,
Ilix, you understand that this is a numbers game. The more I can put of you, in between me and them. And
okay,
she
so
clearly
meet you,
doesn't
I got it.
believe that. Like she's trying to backtrack.
There's no getting
Oh
out
shit!
of
I
this,
was
Illich.
nice. Fuck.
Yeah.
right.
There's no
Quick
getting
turn on the
out
cold.
of this. Illich. We love you too. And I
Hugs
give her
coming
a
in.
big hug.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can't because I'm carrying. I'm
No,
carrying.
you're not carrying me anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true. I put you down. Get the
I'm-
fuck off me.
Holy shit! No,
Shit.
Tanner. You know who you would
There we
fucking
go.
love as a character? Malady. From
Huh?
fucking Divinity Original Sin 2. Just look
Oh.
her up.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to the innkeep, who you said was a monk, right, Garb?
What?
Yes, he is.
I'm gonna walk up to the innkeep and ask him, what this town is like. In my sign language, which he should understand.
He seems puzzled by the hand gestures you're making.
But isn't he a monk?
Yeah.
They didn't all take the vow.
Well, yeah, but like there would be plenty of monks that did take that vow. I would.
Maybe not here.
Okay. I noticed
Maybe-
his confusion.
Maybe
and
you should, see if he's actually a monk.
I noticed his confusion and pull out some pen and a quill and I start writing to him. I was like, you appear to be a monk. Is this not true?
And it takes it from you and begins to read.
Did you just assume my class?
Classes.
I identify as a fighter.
He identifies as an Apache attack helicopter, actually.
That's incredibly transphobic. How
I
dare
know.
you?
That's why I said it.
I know.
Okay. So yeah, he reads it. And so he goes, oh, yeah, these old rags. I'm actually a father here. I never served as a monk.
Plea makes the like gesture, like oh I understand, and then he just bows and takes his leave.
Okay.
And then I walk over to my.
Good night. And he shuffles off.
I go back to my friends and be like, well, it looks like our innkeeper's not a monk, so
Did I witness that?
I don't know. How far away were you, Plea? I think he was probably about to leave when you caught him.
I mean we're in like the main room of this inn, right? Because he said like there's some
Yeah.
space on the floor, so I'm pretty sure you were in the same room, easily within.
When he says
eye
that,
shot.
though, I would assume that would seem weird to me. I'm just gonna see if I notice anything anyway. Thinking-
He doesn't seem suspicious or anything. He seems genuine.
Okay. I just shrug at Pali and I'm gonna bed down for the night.
Before you bed down, I'm gonna sign everyone. It looks like our innkeeper is not an actual monk, so it is possible that if you communicate like I do, people here will not understand you.
Well, I guess that is something we got going for us. There's probably a lot of people in here, like, because I mean, if we're only just in the corner on the floor, that means there's probably a lot of travelers through here.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know we're trustworthy folk, but just saying, maybe we still want to have a bit of a.
I am looking around the room to see what kind of roommates we have.
Yeah, roomies.
Can I detect
there's-
sleeping evil?
There's no more. There's no other people in this room, and actually, you're kind of in the worship area of this temple.
Okay.
We're in the multi-faith chapel,
You're sort of in there's a middle section,
non-denominational.
and then off to one side there's a little study room, which is where you're at, and then branching off from that there's various shrines to different deities. You're not sleeping in one of those, just to be clear.
Yeah. We wake up in them somehow. We rolled over to them. Well-
Smote in the middle of the night.
Yeah. That would be a smite. Well, this is a traveling god. He'd probably be like, whatever. But I guess we're about as safe as we have been in a while. Nearest wooden surface.
Anyways, I wrap my bag tightly and climb into my bedroll and use my bag as a pillow and drift off to sleep.
Okay. Give me perception rolls. Nope.
Please God.
Oh wow.
He rolled twice. He's a cheating
No, the
fuck.
first one was for me looking around the room at my roommates. And the
Second
nat 20
one's-
was for the one that you asked for.
Yep.
All right.
Is this gonna be me?
My perception needs to be 10. Give me one moment.
Oh god.
Ah, pillow gun, where danger and comfort meet.
Oh my
200
god.
head count, 200 dead.
Wow.
I think you've still got some work to do before you get up to that high.
Yeah, right.
You can shoot
Dude.
one guy.
And then, wait, hold on, I gotta reload.
I'm reloading my blunderbuss.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Luckily,
Okay,
it'll only take a movement with quick reload.
Please, you can hear footsteps as somebody passes through.
I open my eyes and look around the room, but I don't sit up to alert them.
Okay. It's much brighter in here now as the sunlight has started to come in through the stained glass windows. Excuse me. I'm getting choked up.
It's so emotional.
I love sunlight.
A group of worshippers is shuffling past your doorway, and you can see that a lot of them are kind of peeking in because they see sleeping bodies. Nobody's come near you yet, but
About what time of morning would you say it is?
just after dawn, so probably 7-ish.
Okay,
When
I'm
did we
gonna
get here?
notice that these people. I mean, we marched through the day and had a forced march for 5 miles. We didn't get here that late, so
It's close to the. It's close
It's-
to waking up time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty close.
so I'll wake up my compatriots and tell them to tidy up their stuff so the worshippers can use the chapel space.
Get the fuck out. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it'd be pretty rude to just kind of be fucking half dead snoring in here while they're trying to do their prayer.
I'm gonna look for the what's his name? The innkeep. Is this an inn? An actual inn?
It's not an inn, it's a temple, actually.
Okay. I'm gonna look for the guy who let us in last night. And ask him. I'm gonna take my quill and the nearest sheet of paper and ask where we might be able to find some breakfast.
I don't think that he's up yet, actually.
No.
Yeah, he's still
look-
asleep.
I look at my compatriots and say, "Somebody find a place for some breakfast."
Yeah, I know. We were spoiled. We were spoiled by Kendra. We expect bacon every morning.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. I'll get up and I'll ask around. Perhaps any of the passing worshippers, especially if they seem to be of Phrasman association.
Sure.
I was actually gonna quickly approach the monk and basically thank him for actually letting us in and
He's not up,
oh, he
dude.
is. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'll do it later.
And he's not a monk.
Okay. The father. We had Father.
He's not a
Grimmer.
monk.
Oh, God.
Fucking monk.
Stop. See, just more and more seething. He's not a fucking monk.
Get your facts straight.
Yeah. Does that look like a monk to you?
Okay.
He's not a monk.
Just holding him up while he's asleep.
He's just a dude.
He's like picking him up by his like what little hair he
Yeah.
has.
Oh, God.
Does this look like a monk to you? This fucking 5-point buy piece of shit. Sorry. No offense.
It's just the guy.
Flea just shrugs.
Where's some breakfast?
I don't know. I suppose you have to poke around.
I'm asking people. Do you want me to roll?
Yeah. Give me a diplomacy.
You're not getting my early bird special. Fuck you.
13.
I use
I'm
perception.
asking if there's anywhere. I'm asking for simple directions.
These people. Hey,
Yeah,
man,
but
we
everybody's
already said
paranoid here.
Paranoid, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I follow the delicious smell of bacon.
Now
And,
wait,
yes!
is everyone paranoid here, or is
Most
like
people.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you said the Gestapo was paranoid.
Is there a delicious
Yeah,
smell of bacon?
I
wafting
think that
through
it's too early in the morning yet, and you're just a little too chipper, and people largely brush you off. And one guy
They
kind
woke
of
us up.
they were quiet though. It's not their fault you rolled a not fucking 20.
God.
But no, they largely dismiss you and ignore you and give the cold shoulder, and one guy does a hand gesture that you don't recognize but you suspect is not friendly.
I look at him and I say, "Where's the breakfast
Oh,
food?"
oh shit.
Oh, he's a +14.
um,
Why do you have a +14?
Yeah, I'm a fucking inquisitor, dog.
This is amazing. All right, hold on. What does he roll against this? I don't.
Where's the sausage?
It's not. It's a
Yeah, it's
DC
a
10 plus hit dice
hit
plus
die.
will.
Plus, yep.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
I
So
shattered it.
he is very intimidated, and
Oh,
he
wisdom,
just
not will.
he stammers out, the inn.
Which is
Don't hurt me.
I haven't had my coffee yet. Where
I don't want
is the
coffee.
breakfast food? Lead me.
You're making a march through the city. Like,
That's
he's a nice
amazing.
Take
Can
this too.
you have him do that?
Where's the nearest
I
candy?
guess I'm not trying to like actually.
It's
I
not.
don't know how intimidate works.
I mean, he's probably
You
shook.
can make people do stuff that doesn't
hurt them.
Doesn't
that
threaten
doesn't
them.
hurt them. Yeah, it doesn't threaten them. If you beat their save.
Assuming he's
I
not so
think you can
terrified,
use,
he doesn't
like-
just go running off as soon as you get outside.
Let's see.
Okay. So he looks around at his friends, who are ignoring him, and he gets up very slowly and
Doesn't feel good, does it, to
moves
be
along
ignored?
the wall, as far away from you as he can, circling around you towards the exit, and then he sort of looks down at the ground.
They're friendly.
If successful, the opponent will give you information you desire, take actions that do not endanger it, or offer other limited assistance. I think asking to be
Yeah, I think
told where
directions is
breakfast
fine.
is
So he'll lead you outside. Let me roll d6. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, he leads you outside and he takes you over this bridge and then takes you to this fine establishment here.
All right.
Um,
As he's turning to leave, I mimic the same hand gesture that he made to us, the rude one.
Great.
I bow to
yeah,
him.
let's be as inconspicuous as possible. Hold man at knife point to go to fucking.
I didn't
Dickies in the
hold him
morning.
at knife point.
You might as well have. He thought it. He thought that's
That's
what's happening.
The tongue
That's
was sharp
different.
enough.
Yeah, well, nice.
Okay.
Now leave this place, or I shall taunt you a second time.
Smells the elderberries.
I'm looking for the name here.
Let's hope he doesn't have friends with the wall guard.
I mean, my tongue is ready.
What?
That
Okay.
sounds mildly inappropriate.
Outside. So he leads you here, and then he like goes running off. After you like lay eyes on the signage out front, he takes off running.
What do I think he's doing? Let's see here.
As he runs away.
Running away from you.
As he's running away, he's like, "Try
Do I
really
think-
good special delicious."
Do I think that he's like gonna go tell guards or some shit?
I suppose you don't know.
Gonna snitch.
Well, I rolled a 25 cents motive.
I don't know how much of a person's motive you can tell by the way they're running.
Everything.
Well, you can tell if they're doing CrossFit if they run really stupidly.
No, that would be perception, Travis.
Yeah, I guess it would.
From his demeanor, I don't think you're able to tell where he's heading.
He just looks afraid of you.
Okay.
I think we'll be fine. I sign to Havelock, and I go into this establishment ready for food.
Into Breakfastopia.
Okay. You open the doors of the Lucky Toad, and inside you find a mix of patrons in a much larger tavern than you are used to.
It's a good point. We only had like a dining room area size before.
Granted, it's not as full as it probably would be. It's rather early in the morning, and so most normal people aren't drinking at this hour.
Perhaps it's best we're in and out then.
It's an In-N-Out? Fuck yeah.
God.
Oh my god.
I will order a cup of coffee and their best burger.
Okay. The barkeep leans over and says, "Oh, yeah, we have coffee. Yeah, Bernice." And a lady, a rather stout-looking woman, comes waddling out of the back room with some freshly poured coffee. And then he hands you a menu that is carved in wood and stained with all manner of alcohols.
As I'm reviewing the menu, I'll say, made an unfortunate carvo in this. Too bad you can't edit it out.
God damn it.
It's our adventure.
So on the menu, they don't have any specific breakfast items. They have some, like a baked turkey and onion. They have poached boar and chestnut bread, steamed trout and millet biscuits. They have boiled veal and walnut bread, poached deer and oat biscuits, and then some steamed shark and millet biscuits.
I'll totally take the deer.
I'm gonna take some of that shark. Sounds delicious.
Okay.
The deer will suffice.
Yeah, it's all in silver and copper pieces, so like I don't know, just one person put
basically-
forth a gold and then everybody's fed.
I've already given the guy a gold for the coffee to get this ball rolling.
Okay. Oh,
Give me all
thank
that.
you, sir. How generous. Your meals are on him.
Well, it's more like on the golden feast, but I.
Keep the coffee coming and give me all the bacon and eggs that you have.
Oh, yes, sir.
Calm down, Ron.
So
Yeah.
I bought 20 grosses.
You guys don't know this. Havelock's surname is Swanson.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Ilix is going to find a place to sit that puts her back against a wall so she can keep an eye on the door.
Sure. Okay. You see a few people come and go. A few commoners, one aristocrat, but nobody really notable.
Good.
Fine by me.
Yep. Dark
Yeah.
corner is best corner.
There are groups of people that are kind of in like little cliques that are talking to themselves.
I am going to listen in.
Good choices. Oh no, what's this quick meme? Oh.
That was it.
Okay. Okay, I think I have a handout for this. Just a second. Yes, with the creepy imagery. Perfect. I'll just go ahead and give this to everybody. There you go.
Oh my
yep.
god.
It's creepy. Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
Someone had to.
At least it's not
Someone
the
had
sloth.
to.
At least it's not the fucking inappropriate sloth.
Please, God.
No.
So I'll kind of give
Santa
you a
said
synopsis
oral.
of what they're saying. You guys can read this later as a reminder. But you both hear rumors of a serial killer that's been leaving bodies at the corner of Burke Way and Glass Street. And you know that somebody just got caught with it last week. And it's the same story it was the weeks prior, and that they found just ordinary people, ordinary citizens dragging corpses into the corner of that street, seemingly like they were sleepwalking, and then they would all tag them or like carve in their arms, regards from K.
I must know, what is it about this place and serial killers?
Well, I mean, to be
I
honest,
signed it.
we
I
just
signed
came
it,
from
Alex.
Ravengrove.
It's like, I think it might be a human thing.
Yeah, no
well,
kidding.
We
technically,
seem
we
to run
are
across them.
we are sort of all serial killers at this point. This guy's going for 200. He's got a goal and he's got a fucking chart.
Jesus.
I mean, they're zombies. It counts. They were human.
That's true. Are you asking us that, or are you asking like
That's
the
what- that's-
patrons?
No, I heard that and assumed that you all heard it, and I'm breaching the topic with you all.
I
Ah.
can't
Like,
hear you over this venison.
It seems like mostly it's in humor. Why I'm asking?
Oh, yeah.
Because
A rhetorical question.
we killed 5 undead serial killers. Now there's
Yeah.
another serial killer. Never mind the guy whose execution or trial is about to happen in Lepistad.
Well, in other countries, they say it has to do with our the Protestant roots. A lot of pent up emotions in this country. For some reason, we just have an extremely violent populace.
Fear
The
and
true answer is
fanaticism.
we're all terrible people.
But unfortunately, as an Inquisitor of Pharasma, I might have to look into this situation.
That's a good point. I mean, we're kind of experienced in the whole crazy sleepwalking stuff, curses and the like.
Also, if we, it may be difficult for us to exit through the north if the wall guard is as suspicious as they say. Perhaps building up goodwill within this community, though hopefully not for a month, will be beneficial.
That's true, and we have a couple days to kill here anyway. No pun intended. Perhaps I should look
Please.
into this.
You know that like
you
Thai
hear the
plants
barkeep
where you like
just kind of chort when you say that.
He loves a good dad joke.
I'll look over to the barkeep and I'll say, my good men, we've heard some rumors. Could you fill us in a bit on this situation that you have with a serial killer?
Yeah, there's been what is it? What is it, Bernice? Is it nine bodies? Yeah, nine bodies now. Over the last year and a half.
Hmm.
Sorry. That
They always
So it's
leave
not-
them
That's
at
right.
the corner of Berkway and Glass Street. Beyond that, I don't think anyone knows a whole lot.
Could you tell us where Berkway and Glass Street are, or is, where they meet?
Let's see if I have that anywhere in my document. I don't think I do.
I don't-
So you probably have to bullshit it, which is fine.
you
It-
could
it could-
point to a
yeah,
random
you could
spot
just-
on the map
I
and
would-
act like
I-
that was the right one.
I'd buy it.
Well, I just want to make sure that it isn't like a specific position compared to like somebody's house or something. I want to make sure it's not important and that I get it right.
Let's assume for the time being that there's a spot that he indicates. Ah, thank you.
Yeah, we'll do, 1 second. We'll do this corner here.
Ah. I kind of lean over to Ilix and I'll say to her, we've staked out a spot overnight before. Perhaps that wouldn't be a terrible practice to employ again.
Yes, but these murders have had quite a bit of space in between them.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should examine this area and see if we can find any clues.
Now that I believe we can do.
I signed to my
Excellent.
friends that whatever their choice may be, to be discreet. We are strangers here.
Discreet. I don't know the meaning of the word.
It's a good. No, he doesn't actually.
I literally
he full
don't.
on. Yeah. He had a hostage situation 5 minutes into the morning.
To get breakfast.
Yep, that was just breakfast.
You should
That
see
wasn't
me
even-
try and do my taxes. It gets real bad.
Oh my gosh.
We call
Um,
it the Great War.
After eating and finishing up, though, I would definitely head over toward that intersection to see if I could examine the ground, the earth, or any of the evidence, or perhaps
That's here.
yes, that's the area we're working with at the moment. I'll nod to Ilix and say perhaps we should. Oh fuck! I go back to the innkeeper. When was the last one that happened? The last murder?
Sometime last week, I believe.
Oh, so it's still fairly fresh.
Who was the victim? Or who were the victims, I suppose I should say. Anyone we might be able to interview to get more information.
How would you interview the victims?
Well, not the
He
murder
means the
victims.
family members.
I'm led to believe either the family members or perhaps the people that seem to have been mind controlled or slept walked into disposing of the corpses.
Well, I believe they
Or
were.
speak with dead.
I was
It's
about to
also
say,
a
yeah.
thing that also does exist in this world.
Do any of you have access to that?
I don't.
I think Zoo might.
Zoo might.
Let me look it up.
Zoo definitely does. She's an inquisitor.
She's
a
pure
cleric,
cleric, right?
Yeah, she definitely does.
I think we should definitely find out who the victim was and who the person who was dragging them was,
Yes.
and see if there's any connection to be drawn there.
Well, I think the bodies have already been disposed of.
Zoo doesn't speak with them.
But as
Nice.
far as victims, I think they were all I think they were all punished. Though you may be able to find one of them in the courthouse. I don't know if he's been processed yet.
To the
The
courthouse.
accused? Okay.
Yeah, it's a level
River
3
House,
cleric spell and she doesn't have it?
But I'm level 4, so they get level 3 spells.
Well, it's a level 3 spell. I don't know if you have one.
You don't have to.
Oh.
5th level, right?
No, gotcha.
No.
Yeah, until fifth. That's
Blast.
unfortunate.
So the barkeep will lean over to you and says, "Well, the official word is that the murders are unrelated and that it's all a copycat. But between you and me, I'm pretty sure it's a serial killer."
I'll wink at him and
Especially
toss
given
him
the similarities between the crimes.
Mm-hmm.
toss him another gold, and I say, as an inquisitor, you'll find that I'm not necessarily beholden to every little picadillo that the local authorities decide to impose on the populace. And
He picks up the coin and like holds it up to you and nods and says, "I understand."
yeah,
Just to
guy.
verify.
this guy gets it.
You read
Just
them
to
all
be
wrong.
clear, every instance, a separate person was seen dragging the person to the same location.
That's what I hear. Yes, I
All
wasn't
hearing from the
there,
sequel.
obviously.
Just to be
but
clear.
that's what
Yes.
I hear.
Have you heard what's happened to all the other people that have been allegedly taking these bodies away?
Well,
They've been-
as far as I know, only 3 people have been caught. And we
So the
executed
bulk of
2
these-
of them, so...
So the bulk of
Just one
these
left.
were simply bodies found at the same location.
Yes.
I see.
Let's go to the courthouse. I want to talk to.
Do we
this-
want to check the location?
Oh
first?
yeah, let's check the location.
Since I
You're
rolled
already
a
doing
decent,
it.
Yeah, since I rolled a decent perception check, I'm looking around for anything. Well, obviously anything suspicious. But like to see if there's like what kind of street is this? Is this like dirt or is it stone like a cobblestone?
It's
It's-
called Glass Street. It's literally glass.
Oh my god. No, it's all cobblestone.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the cobblestones and see if I see anything like worked into the stone itself. Like if this spot is important, is there like a rune carved into one of the cobblestones? Or
No, nothing quite so interesting.
Okay.
You do find what might be blood. It's hard to tell.
Okay, I'm going to knock on the stone,
Oh, okay.
like
Checking for hollow spots.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Hmm.
find any. The road is rather ordinary, and a few people pass by while you're on all fours and knocking on cobblestones, and they think you're a rather weird elf.
I play my flute to
I am a
distract
weird elf.
Yes. Okay, so now they just think it's some sort of weird avant-garde performance.
Yeah. them. Start doing a weird dance.
Okay, I'm going to look at the buildings nearby next. I guess my first question is: do any of them look sinister?
No,
And-
it looks like a pretty ordinary street corner.
Okay.
If it
'Cause
weren't
if
for
one
the
of these
empty
looked
lot,
like
She
a
doesn't
haunted
know what a street
mansion.
corner looks like.
that's true. I suppose
Like,
Alex
if there
doesn't
was,
have
like,
much
no.
experience with that, but
If there were bats hanging under the awnings of like one of these
Yeah,
houses,
there's
and,
nothing
like,
quite
creepy
like
red
that.
eyes through the window.
Do we hear any
Um,
maniacal cackling?
no, I mean, not
Pipe
other
organs in
than
the distance.
not other than what you assume Plea is doing constantly.
Well, that doesn't seem to be anything off now.
Actually, I kind of worry that our DM thinks that Please Mouth is just like constantly open, pretending to cackle, but he can't.
I like to imagine that Plea is cackling evilly at all times in his head. Like that's his internal dialogue. It's just
Perhaps we should look into the history of this location.
I look over at Havelock and say, perhaps you might be able to detect certain ominous things?
Like with your eyeballs?
Or like maybe some supernatural ability that you have?
I commence detecting clues or
That's-
plot points. No, I detect evil on the as I'm basically just looking around in like a 360 of this whole kind of intersection.
Scoobius, dubious, detectus.
Yeah.
Okay, well, probably the only thing notable near this corner is the empty lot that's now kind of overgrown northwest of that street corner. So you're all kind of standing on it right now, so it's hard to see on the map, but there is an empty lot right here.
Does it seem evil?
No, you don't. You don't detect any evil or anything like that.
Yeah.
So no one has built there in the city.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
I
go.
detect
what?
magic.
I'm gonna like walk around there to see if I can find like the remnants of a foundation.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And I'll assist with an engineering roll. Yeah.
Okay, you don't find any magic, Havelock, and you're checking for what with engineering again?
I was assisting looking for like foundations and other things with Ilix.
Trying to see like any signs that there might have been a building here, like a building here at one point, like depressions or areas that are abnormally flat or very kind of strange variations
yes.
in the terrain.
While you are poking around in there in the underbrush, you do find something that looks remarkably like a sharp corner. And upon further investigation, it does appear that some staking or digging took place here at one point to pour a foundation, but one was never finished.
Hmm.
Lots of
Spot a vacant lot this close to the center of a populated town like Tamrivena. I sense an investment opportunity.
The Shundows.
That's all.
Well, we could inquire as to what was supposed to be here. Then again, everyone's paranoid.
I want to go to the courthouse and speak to this.
Yeah, before the third guy gets
judge.
executed.
Yes. Or the guy that's about to be executed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they said they executed the last two, and this is the third one. It's not looking up.
Sensing a pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, you get to the courthouse. There's a few guards on patrol that walk past you on the way. I need to know how you react to that, and that'll be over here-ish before you get there.
Say that again?
There's a patrol of guards coming your way as you approach the courthouse.
I am going to mimic the behavior that was described to me and duck my head and avert my eyes.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Acting natural.
Are you smiling and waving?
No.
I'm acting perfectly normal. I act in the same.
That's gotta be difficult.
You're gonna have to be more specific. Halflock, I'm not sure, knows exactly what normal is.
I walk to the location as if I have no ulterior motive, which I do not have. I don't know.
Clear.
I walk normally. How do you want me to?
He doesn't do anything
You just
different.
said you smile and nod, so I'm like.
He doesn't change his behavior, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
It just seems like Havelock is the
don't-
kind of guy that would do the coconuts thing.
I don't cartwheel. I don't do a backflip as soon as I see them. I don't antagonize them. I walk past them, perhaps making the briefest of glances at them just to notice their presence. I don't wink. I don't parkour.
Ilix tries to stay on the other side of Havelock since they're I think is it Havelock who's about comparable height?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I'm a normal heighted dude. I'm like 5'10" or 5'11" or something.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody else in here was tall.
I'm not gigantic.
I don't know. I think I'm like, I forget. What did I make him?
Plea
He's apparently
is
6.
5'8".
Plea is what?
Only 5'8".
Okay.
He's got a hat though, or Leopold has a hat though. That might help.
That might add onto it, yeah. Because I think that's what the 1 inch is.
Yeah, Ilix is going to just try to put as many people between her and them, the guards, as possible, because she might be the one that stands out the most.
I mean, Genesis is also an elf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'm
I'm like
tall.
a 6-foot tall elf with a sword and a bow and a quiver, and like I look
I'm
proper
6 foot.
adventure-y.
Okay. You guys make it up to the courthouse. There's a couple guards standing just outside. You're just gonna walk up to the door, or
I'll approach the guards, I suppose, if they're guarding it, and say,
Yeah.
Greetings. And I guess, introduce myself and I guess the party that approaches the door with me, if everyone does. And
Yeah.
I'll say, so the innkeeper guy, he just told us about the victim. Did he also tell us there was like a judge or something? Why am I thinking of that?
the government here is a council. There is no,
Ah.
there's no like judiciary as such.
Okay. I'll say, we were hoping to discuss some matters with a councilman or woman.
I see. What matters do you have to bring to the council?
Okay. We've been led to believe that there's been a disturbance, some strange happenings locally, and we were in town for several days and thought we would look into the matter.
I mean, you could also
see.
say you are an Inquisitor of Pharasma. If this
I
reeks
am
of
an
evilly,
inquisitor.
yeah, if this reeks of evilly stuff,
I
maybe that's
suspect evil in this town someplace, and I mean to root it out.
Oh, well then, by all means, go in.
Gotta throw that badge around, man. Smack
That's
people
true.
with it.
Well, they don't have a shrine to Pharasma in this town.
Oh,
I'm not sure how much of
They
that
did
weight I can
in
throw.
Soldier's Rest.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe I only wrote down the ones that I didn't know.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah, he seems like he's a particularly superstitious guy, so when you mention that you're here to root out evil, he seems very receptive to that idea, and he lets you in.
Excellent.
I mean, to be honest, if there were sleepwalking murderers walking around my town, some dude's like, I can fix that. I'd be like, go for it, dude.
Yeah.
Since my garb will probably look similar to Havelock's, I'm going to bow to this guard that let us in and was superstitious and like put my hands over him in some blessing.
This is my companion, Pali. He's a real monk. You've never seen one of those in this town, I gather.
As he shakes his fist towards Soldier's Rest general location.
A real monk. And
He's
also,
like-
you need to do something about the youth. They're flippant. They're flippant in this town, and I've had enough of it.
You're right.
Havelock, aren't you like 20?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I will double our efforts this evening on curfew, and I'll make sure that the teenagers are indoors. He seems like he's trying to impress you.
Excellent. And I look at him, I'll say, you ever think about becoming more than just a guardsman? You've got a knack about you, my boy. He's probably older than me.
Really? I would have never. Oh, thank you. You know, back when I was a boy, and he starts going on this whole like tangent.
Yeah, the cut of your jib, it's a good one. Now, I've got important matters to handle. Continue to tell your story to that fellow and every teen you cross.
Oh, yes, of course.
Good man. And I pat him on his shoulder and walk past.
and I will use that momentum and use him like a shield from this life story. Basically, like when two lanes are turning left, you use the outside car as a shield. Doing that, but
God.
with this guy and his life story.
I think that reveals more about the way that you drive than it does anything else.
Oh my god.
I'm not accustomed to using other drivers as human shields, but
It's called defensive driving. Look it up.
yeah, I mean, I believe it.
I follow Hatblock in, and as I do, I bow to the guard and just shake my head as I walk away.
Preach the good word. That's what I say as I pass.
Okay. You walk into the River House, which is a large green shingled building that has a bell tower. You can tell right away that this is where many of the people who are like criminals and thugs end up judged rather quickly. There are stocks out front. There is a staircase that leads down into a basement of some kind, where you assume there must be cells. And when you walk in, there are 3 people dressed in robes and tabards that are sitting around a large table, and they're having a rather spirited debate.
Can I
I take it
listen
this
in
is
on
the
their
council?
debate?
Yeah. Give me. Let's see. I guess I'll roll it for you. I feel like that would be a stealth thing. Oof. You actually enter the room rather noisily, and while you could tell they were having a spirited debate, they all silence once you enter and look at you.
All right. I'll approach them, I guess, and I'll say, "Good evening." Are they women or men or?
There is 2 men and a woman. The 2 men are both human, and so is she, though her skin looks a little more pale.
Hmm.
Do you know a man named Caleb?
Yeah.
I mean, she's not like albino, but she's looks like she doesn't
She
get
just
much
looks pale.
sun. Yeah.
It's a dampier.
It's a dampier. Yep.
Oh God!
Damn dampier. I'll say, greetings. Would you be the council folk?
We would. Who would be this that addresses us?
I am Havlock Swanson.
Oh my god, you're really committing to that. All right.
I didn't make a surname yet, so. YOLO.
Swanson's a common name. That's fine.
Yeah.
You could make it Havelock Swan Song, and it'd be
Havlock
like
Swan Song is good.
it'd
Yeah.
be like yeah,
Wow.
super dramatic.
Havlock Swan Song.
I can see the
At
emo
your service.
makeup pooling on your face.
I think that's yeah. Well, I was gonna say that's the opposite of the vibe I'm going for, but then I wrote my own backstory. I know how fucking emo it is. I'll nod to them and say, greetings. I am an inquisitor of Pharasma, and my companions and I have been led to believe that there's been a disturbance in this town that requires looking into.
And what might that be? One of the older man chimes in, and he, now that you're a little more close to the table, you can see that his robes are a little more colorful than you might have thought, and he has a feather sticking out of his hat.
He doesn't seem very friendly to me. Is that safe to assume, or would you like me to roll for it?
Yeah, I think it's obvious to you that he does not agree with your assertion that there's been a disturbance.
The townsfolk are gossiping about a serial killer at work.
Treasonous lies! He smashes his fist down on the table, and the woman says, "Oh, calm down, calm down. We know of the issue of which you speak, and we believe it has been handled.
Hmm.
The killer is in custody. There is nothing left to do.
Well, if that is the case, then you certainly won't mind an Inquisitor Pharasma independently confirming this fact.
They all look
Can
at
I
each
get an
other
independent
kind of
study?
nervously. And she says, yes, of course. Anything that you want would be fine.
Does she seem to believe me? Or, like, I guess she seems like she's legit.
They
Like, they all
seem
seem earnest.
nervous that you mentioned that you're an Inquisitor.
Yeah.
And, that means questions.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. I'm not one of these Bernie type wizards. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you feel the burn in this town.
I see.
But I do want to look into this. I'm here for a few days in any case. I would like to speak to the accused. This villainous criminal. And I'm doing a little bit of a I'm
Yeah.
acting up a little bit
Give me
here,
just a
just
little.
to sort of,
Just give me a little bluff
Yeah.
there. Just give me a
Okay.
little bit.
yeah.
Oh, ho, ho!
Yeah.
That's not your character.
That's still a nat 20,
Oh,
though.
fuck.
He rolled a
It's
nat
still
20.
not 20. I'll give it to you.
Yeah. And mine's only -1, so
His
actually
is
at
even better.
19.
Okay, one sec. I'm yawning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, I suppose that could be arranged. You hear the older man kind of grumble, and the third guy who's sitting there is just kind of leaned back in his chair, and it looks like he has like his fingers like crossed over his chin, and he just looks like he's just kind of analyzing the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
She rings a bell, and one of the guards from outside comes in.
Which one is it?
The one is not the one that you were talking to earlier.
Oh, good. Hopefully he's out sermonized.
He walks in, and she says, "Could you please take these kind folks down to see the prisoner, and make sure they don't do anything funny?" And she kind of looks over you all suspiciously, and then motions for the guy who's just like kind of chilling there. I guess we'll call him the non-colorful one because you haven't got names.
Okay. Yep.
He'll hand a key ring to the guard.
She could refer to him by name if she wanted to, but that's fine.
She didn't, though. She just sort of motions for
Okay.
him to give up the keys.
Excellent.
Ryan Walker has the desire to make a really funny face after she says, make sure they don't do anything funny, but Plea doesn't have that same motivation.
All right.
Are you gonna link the face?
No, just like
Or you
sticking
just-
my tongue out, waving my hands funny, and, like
Okay.
a really goofy face, because she said make sure they don't do anything funny. But Plea
Excellent.
doesn't do that. It's just that Darth is very concerned about Plea's inner monologue.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
So
Okay. I'll follow the guard down to meet this prisoner.
Okay. You guys get downstairs. The cells are pretty much all empty, though you don't suspect prisoners probably stay for very long before they're dealt with.
Quotes.
Yep. And you come to the last cell on the right, and inside is he's like a middle-aged man in rags who's chained to the wall, and he just is sort of quietly sitting and staring off into space.
Acceptance.
I use my detect ability to detect good to see if it activates on him.
Is that an alignment detection?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say you detect good.
After I do that, then I'll nod to the guard and just kind of walk up to the bars, I guess, and say, "Excuse me, sir, might we speak with you?"
I've already told you everything I know.
You've told the council folk upstairs. I don't like to genderize that noun.
Council
But
persons.
council persons, I am an independent. I suppose you could say that we are independent investigators. I am an inquisitor of Pharasma, and it is my duty to investigate these matters where I think evil has been committed. And suffice to say that I would like to independently confirm or deny the council's findings. I have reason to believe that you might have information that would help me in that endeavor.
He sort of raises an eyebrow to you and says, "Why would you help me?"
Because we like helping people.
We like
I
helping
point
people.
I point at Xenesis and nod. Well, yeah.
I rolled diplomacy for that one. Hang on.
I think, yeah. I mean, I'll assist if you're
I
going to roll
mean,
diplomacy.
whether you exactly wanted to or not, Alex,
Yeah,
I mean,
give
you
me
basically
diplomacy
helped
for
save
that
a
for
town.
sure.
I'm assisting.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm assisting.
I'm assisting
I will also
Xenesis.
assist.
Okay, give me
Hell
one
yeah.
moment.
Where'd you get a +5 in diplomacy?
Hell
Hey!
I have a +7
Damn.
diplomacy.
Okay. He says, "Well, I don't really have anything to give you."
I
Oh,
mean,
you don't?
I give him a face. It's like, did you not just listen to the cleric? Like,
helping.
He seems like he's used to transactional relationships.
Yeah, clearly.
So shallow.
Mean I don't have to suck anyone off?
You don't
Damn
have
shame.
to.
I already took out my teeth and just saying.
Oh, God.
No, please, no.
He sort of eyes the guard suspiciously, but then he walks up to the bars and says, "Please, you have to help me. I didn't do it."
What?
I didn't detect good or evil, so it's more like I think this is more Havelock's dick at this point.
I think I got a faint aura of goodness.
Hmm.
Like he seems like a pretty normal guy and a slightly altruistic one.
Yep.
I mean, I could also send
Hey.
motive on
Yeah,
it.
you get the same vibes.
It's one hell of a...
I'll kind of share a look with my compatriots, like, and I'll sign real quickly. Seems like a good normal guy.
thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing with your hands? Why are none of you talking?
We're
Oh
a
my
gang.
God, are you serious?
These are our gang signs.
What's up?
I
No.
facepalm really hard at that.
No.
What did you
I'll
just say?
say-
The guard behind you.
I'm just
Facepalm?
that we're kidding. This is look how monk-like my companion here looks. Lee,
Look at him. He could
he
not
looks
be part of
extremely monk-like.
I
When-
look at the
when
guard
this guy says
and
that-
start signing to the guard like full on. I'm just like, this is me talking as if he understood me with my hands, just like full on conversation mode.
Yes. He's taken a vow of silence, and I've already proven that I'm very inclusive by not genderizing your council people. So I want you to know that I'm being inclusive again by conducting parts of our conversation in a way that my companion won't feel left out.
Give me intimidate on that one.
You want me to intimidate?
Yeah. I think it makes
Jeez.
sense.
Okay. Okay, but I want to make it clear I'm not trying, like, that was not the tone in which I was delivering.
It's okay. I want an
Okay.
intimidate roll.
All right. Well,
Oh, man.
I'm absolutely fine,
Pants are getting wet.
but I
please.
don't want you to use
Okay.
this against me.
No,
Like,
you're good.
Okay.
He goes, "Oh,
What-
yeah, of course. Carry on. Sorry."
I give
being a
the
good
guard
person.
like a friendly pat on the shoulder, and bow to him in thanks for understanding.
It's one of those quick
Okay.
bows.
I was using intimidate as like an authority type of role.
Okay, I'm fine with it. The only reason I hesitated was because I was like, this guy will treat me like I want to make it clear I'm not like yelling at this guy like
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
like,
like
you're
that.
good.
mind your fucking business and have him be like angry at me afterward. So I guess I'll look back to this prisoner guy and I'll say, any information that you could give us would be helpful. Perhaps it would be helpful if you could recount as much as you remember leading up to whatever occurred.
Well, I was having a drink on the Lucky Frog, and the next thing I know, I'm walking down the street and some guards arrest me.
Did you speak to anyone of note? Did you notice anything strange before when you were in the frog, whatever it's called?
I honestly,
toad?
I don't remember.
I was going to quickly ask, are you familiar with the empty lot that is on the street pertaining to your arrest? Glass and what?
Oh, it's, let's see.
I forgot there was something in
it's
Glass Street.
Burke Street and Glass.
Burke Street and Glass.
Yep.
Are you aware of that empty lot?
Well, yeah, the wall guard have vigils there for the people who died. Why?
The people who died, so something happened there.
Well, yeah, the murder I'm accused of.
No, I meant before that.
Yeah, there were other murders that I'm accused of.
You're accused of all the
Historically speaking.
murders.
Most of them, anyway. The ones they don't have a fall person for. And he sits down on the bench, kind of disgruntled.
Well, does that spot have any history before all the murders? Before any of the murders actually happened? Was there something that was there or supposed to be there?
He shrugs and says, "I'm just a carpenter, man. I don't know any of these things."
The other people that have been accused of the murders in the past, do you have anything in common with them that you can think of?
He sort of leans back and looks up at the ceiling like he's trying to remember. I don't think so. We're all different ages and different genders, and I don't think anybody else was a carpenter. I certainly didn't know them.
Well, that is disconcerting. You didn't notice anything odd. What time did you... What is the last thing you can remember when you were in the Toad? What time would you say? How much time passed in which your memory was lapsed?
Oh, geez, it was fairly late that night. Probably around 10? Yeah, must have been around 10 or so. I was drinking because I lost some work, but that's besides the point. And then I think the guards found me early in the morning, before dawn at least.
So it was definitely 5 hours or so.
I would say 4 hours or 5 hours by my estimation.
Xenesis, are you aware of any spells that might be able to override a person's mind for that length of time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Perhaps you should plumb
No,
your
like, what?
mind for all the spellcrafty or arcany
Oh.
type things.
My headset was cutting
So-
out. What's going on?
We did it all. We solved the everything.
The
So the
universe has an answer.
spellcraft. So if I roll spellcraft, I'll get answers.
That's my suggestion. I can.
Chris is giggling in the background. That's it.
I don't know
Well,
if it's gonna lead anywhere. I'm just
Does 14 do it?
trying. That's up to Chris.
You know there are compulsory effects, but I don't think you know of anything specifically that fits the bill.
Yeah, Havlik, I'm not exactly for sure. I'd have to hit the books a bit harder.
I'm gonna detect magic down here just to see if I locate anything on him.
So we're thinking magic was used on him?
That's my guess. We know that I talked to him, and he says that he was drinking in the haunted toad, or whatever the fuck it is, and
Lucky Toad.
yeah, Lucky Toad, and then he doesn't remember. He lost his memory for about 5 hours until he was discovered and arrested at dawn or near dawn. I understand that you carved some sorts of runes into your flesh.
No.
No, the
Didn't you
people
say
were. They
something
were no,
about
no, no.
the
They were
victim?
carving into the victim. Yeah.
Into the victim, into the
the
victim's
corpse.
flesh.
Yep.
Into the corpse's flesh.
Not that I remember. Sorry.
Perhaps we should examine this corpse. Has the corpse already been disposed of?
Yeah, I think they already buried them.
Huh.
I mean, this was
I'll
last
look at
week
my
sometime. They
companion.
don't have, like, embalming or anything.
Yes. I'm gonna look at Xenesis and I'll say, I would like to inspect these corpses, but Pharasma's tenets specifically don't allow us to disturb the resting place of the dead.
Lee looks at Havelock and says, "Perhaps the council made a note." Carvings?
Yes. To the council. And I'm gonna look at the guy and I'll say, I'm gonna actually say, how can I word this? I'm not convinced at this juncture that the council has gotten this case correct.
Are you saying
Take
this to
some
the guy
heart.
down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take some heart that I'm going to continue to look into this. And I shall return either when I've solved the matter or a few days have passed and it's time for me to leave, because that's about all the time I have.
Better than nothing.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
who else you got running for you in this race?
He lays down on the bench and puts his hands behind his head and says, "Well, good luck."
Yeah, let's consult the council. I feel uncomfortable stealing all the spotlight. If other people want to pursue this, I'm totally down with
I
that.
have as
We're
much
here
of the
for 3
spotlight
days,
as
yeah.
I can literally take, because
Well-
I can't talk.
Okay. I mean, I think you could still... I would translate anything that you wanted to say.
I will follow everyone up to the council chambers. I'm assuming that's where we're going.
Yep. You get up there, and the more reserved man is gone. It is now just the rather colorful man and the woman.
I ask if they kept a record of the information regarding all of the murders. And if we could
Yes,
review
of
that record.
course. We keep diligent records of all crimes within our city.
May we look at those records?
On what grounds would you have for that?
Inquisitor dog.
I
And
believe we were.
I just point at my badge.
I believe my friend, or that you agreed to let us perform an independent investigation. That would require us to review the evidence, would it not?
And you wouldn't want to kill an innocent man, would you?
That'll haunt you for the rest of your life.
Might literally haunt you. Like, that is a thing that
It's a
happens.
good point.
We trust me, you don't want to deal with ghosts of serial killers either.
I will agree.
You can see that the woman leans over to listen to the man as he whispers something in her ear.
I'm gonna try to listen in.
Okay.
Oh, I want to listen in.
Aw.
Nope.
What the fuck?
Nope.
I'm gonna try to listen to someone.
Okay.
Oh.
Damn.
Sexy.
Okay.
My ears are perfect today.
Yes, they are. You can hear him whisper to her, "Just make sure this isn't a trick. I don't trust these people. This feels like they're trying to come up with a reason to overthrow us."
Suspicious motherfuckers.
So she says, "Well, I suppose there isn't any harm. Just don't damage the records. What is it that you're wanting?"
Records of all the murders of all the victims that have been found at the corner of whatever those 2 streets were named.
Glassenberg.
And
And
anything you
history.
have on that lot.
Yes.
The nearby one. Vacant, just north of the intersection.
Oh, that I don't think we have anything on. Well, maybe, but it's probably in a different file. I'll have to look. In the meantime, and she goes behind her into a little cabinet, almost like a pantry, and she emerges with a stack of, I guess it would be scrolls. They're in a scroll case. She pulls out, and she lays it down on the table in front of you and says, "This is everything we have on the murders. Let me go look for that empty lot."
In the meantime, I'll look at Xenesis and I'll go. Also, in the meantime, before we take a look at these, just listen to our story as we tell you this and how we solved the problems in Ravengrow and how trustworthy we are. And I'll say, Xenesis, why don't you tell the tale? And I will attempt to assist you.
Okay, do I roll diplomacy to tell the tale?
That's my suggestion.
Okay.
I'll assist.
Since they don't trust us.
Wait, I don't know if I can assist. I'm gonna make interesting hand gestures while she tells the story. That's
Yeah,
my
you
assisting.
can do Napoleon
Oh, fuck.
Dynamite-esque like
Interpretive dance.
Yeah, interpretive like narration.
Okay, so far she's got a 13.
I'm
Alex,
useless.
you're great.
I'm no such thing.
Try. God damn it.
Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
This is
Mhm.
true. Okay,
Yeah.
Michael
you
Scott.
have a 15.
It's 15.
Leopold, where are you?
Leopold, you gonna help?
For diplomacy,
Mm-hmm.
I kinda shablam.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Well,
Right?
It's a good assist.
I mean, it's only +2, but
Yeah, I
One
think
moment here.
Leopold and Zuzu need to be our diplomacy teams.
Well, I got a +6.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got
yeah.
a +6 in.
I have a
Well,
+7.
Okay, I thought Havelock had a lower diplomacy. It's your bluff
he's
that's
still
not
pretty good.
very good.
Yeah. Well, I've been dropping a point in
Intimidate.
diplomacy ever since like level 1 and that fucking clusterfuck. I was like, I'm just gonna keep adding a little bit to this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just to do something.
yeah, +6, +5, and +7. You guys
Yeah,
are.
we should be.
You're our diplomatic envoy.
Well, between the 3 of us, we should be able to muster one good like face
Right.
of the party roll.
Right.
One good
If the others like,
huzzah.
I basically wanted to make sure that I could reliably assist most of the time.
Yeah, I think Ilix is mostly concerned with looking at the scroll case, but
Okay.
chimes in with some pieces of some good additions of information while you're attempting to
Mm-hmm.
tell this story. Some elaborations.
Drop some big names, see if they catch any of that.
Yeah.
Grimborough. Splatterman.
Jeez.
Old River.
Oh yeah.
Old River's probably known far and wide.
Old River is
I miss
probably
Old River.
God, and the way we
There is
interact
no
with
God.
River is
Only dog.
yeah.
Very similar. Feed him scraps here and there.
Just a second.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick.
Okay.
Zoo, this is important. Look at that. while we're having a break.
I'm having to download so many games.
Aww.
It gets better.
This is a hummingbird. Is it water that's flicking off, or honey, or
Water.
nectar?
Water. I
Okay.
hope not, honey.
Oh, it says okay. I didn't read the title. Obviously, I didn't, but you know, it's so pretty. I wish
I know.
we were covered in iridescently looking stuff. Imagine how much more attractive we would be.
I
How
mean,
miserable
I
it'd be to
feel,
walk outside when the sun is bright.
No.
I feel that
God,
we as a
tripping on
species
acid.
look the way we do because we as a species decided that what we look like looks good.
Mm,
At least it's one of the factors.
it's so pretty.
I know.
It looks
though.
like a though. Also, it kind of looks like
Mutation and evolution.
it's
Mhm.
twisting
th-
its neck off.
well, I mean, you've never shaked water out of your head? Probably looks the same in slow motion.
Yeah, no, I usually never mind. Like bounce on one foot to get water. But
Well, normally I've got a beard, so like if I get out of the shower, I usually like shake the shit out of my beard. That probably looks fucking weird. Yeah. Oh, what was I gonna say?
Okay.
Oh yeah, speaking of birds. Oh,
So, okay. Well, actually, we'll wait for Doll to get back from the bathroom. I'll do some
Okay.
more writing. Sorry.
Well, speaking of birds, there's like a there's a shrubbery. It's a hedge that's next to my driveway. That is like it's next to the fence, so it's for privacy between the two houses. And there is just a fucking busload of chickadees in there, like all the time. Like I went to go trim some of the branches off that were kind of getting onto the driveway, and I scared like probably like 20 or 30 tiny birds out of the thing. I was like, Jesus! They come flying out. So I try not to bug them because they just go in there and they just eat shitloads of fucking insects that are near my house. It's good shit. Don't have to worry about fucking mosquitoes. They kill them all.
dude, chickadees are cool.
There's like ones they like hang upside down off the branches. At one part, I just like to watch them.
Yeah, we don't really have much here in Kern except for pigeons and no doves. Sorry, correction. We have a lot of doves and we have squirrels and turkeys. Tons of turkeys and
Fucking turkey.
seagulls. Seagulls and geese.
That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. I guess where you live
I
would
think-
be. I don't know. Well,
I think not on the bird subject, more of the bug subject. Where I think we're gonna get a brood of cicadas this year up here.
did you see the mass butterfly migration, or was that just only in Nebraska and Kansas?
There wasn't a mass, but I've seen quite a few monarchs flying around recently. Is that
Mhm.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The monarch. Ooh, Zoo, do either you and Darp have Amazon Prime?
I do.
Have you watched The Tick yet on Amazon Prime Video?
I wish. I
It's
haven't
pretty
really
good.
made time for myself to watch to indulge in such shows. I know that I got Chris to watching Adventure. No wait, Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Rick and Morty, yeah. You mentioned that last time.
Mhm.
Welcome back.
But is it a good show? I will make note of it for
Rick
future.
and Morty?
No,
No.
The Tick on Amazon Prime.
I've heard it's good.
It's very good, actually. It's pretty funny.
Rick and Morty, on the other hand, you should never watch.
Never.
Oh,
It's
Yeah, it's
dark.
too grown up
Makes you
for you.
sad.
no, never too grown up.
It's just, it's just bad.
It's like NC 50.
It's NC 137.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, the fucking like at one point in The Tick is a very like self-aware superhero show, and the guy who plays the Tick often does the narration. He's got like a big booming superhero voice, and like I think the end of the first episode is like, evil is everywhere. It's got guns, stars, tattoos, and it's licensed to drive. It's just It's just a lot of like self
It's dumb.
aware
Is what it
superhero
is.
jokes. I
It's
like it.
Dumb.
I like it.
Okay.
I still think it should be Patrick Warburton.
The guy who does Dave Putty.
I don't know who that is, but the guy who does Joe from Family Guy. The guy who
Yeah.
was the Tick.
The original Tick, yeah.
The original, yeah.
He
Hey, Peter.
yeah, he also is Dave Putty from Seinfeld.
Ah.
He talks like this. Like he was also Krunk from fucking Emperor's New Groove.
That one's lost
that
on
guy.
me.
You've never seen Emperor's New Groove?
That's
It's a good
negative.
movie.
Dude, Kuzco is the best Disney princess.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
That's
one of the few
actually-
roles.
I like that
What's Disney?
movie.
Yeah, like that is one of David Spade's few roles that, like, without Chris Farley, where he did very well.
It's a pretty sad state of affairs for his career, then, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did really well together as the straight man crazy dude combo. Like they did, like David Spade has a
Mhm.
lot of like funny parts, but like it just doesn't quite resonate the same as like when he worked with Chris Farley when he was still
Oh,
alive.
yeah.
And you could tell. I'm sure that probably fucked him up because they were really
Oh, he
good
definitely
friends.
did. He didn't go to his
Yeah.
funeral.
Well,
He said he couldn't.
yeah. I mean, I still don't even know. Like if my best friend dies, I don't even know. I think I'd have to be dragged there because I wouldn't want to fucking
Well, let's not harp
get
on this.
sad. Let's go back to like killing ghosts, please.
Let's get back to
Not-
nice stuff like solving
real
this
life.
murder.
Yeah.
Murders.
Finding a serial killer. Yeah.
Let's get
Oh,
away
what?
from the
Now on a
topic
lighter
of
topic.
death and go on to the topic of fantasy death.
Force.
Okay, so you guys dig through the records about the murders. Every single victim was a woman or a girl under the age of 20.
Now, see, that's a piece of information that I missed.
Gross.
Good thing I'm 23. Wait, what?
Well, you are an elf. You
Yeah,
probably look really young.
You're too
Yeah.
old for him now.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, they
Give it
were
up,
all
Grandma.
human girls. This is true.
Oh, okay. What a fetish. Ew. how
Were you afraid that
disgusting.
you'd been murdered and didn't notice? Now that's a twist.
just this whole campaign.
She
The
was
Sixth
dead the
Sense.
whole time, and we all have the sixth sense. We just
Uh,
didn't know.
No wonder she was so good at killing ghosts. She was one.
Man, okay. Do we know anything else about the victims? Like any individual names with family we might be able to. They didn't write down the runes or anything that were carved on them.
Well, they were pretty hard to identify.
Gross.
Oh, how many young women live in this city?
Oh,
You can't
God.
like deduce it.
Let me find out how many people live in Tamrivena.
Like missing girls.
There
Wrapped
is
up with murder girls.
3,620 people.
Jesus.
It's really not that
Say
big.
maybe a 50-50 split.
I mean, for medieval standards, that's a pretty good sized town.
And
So probably
under
more like
20.
a 60-40 split.
Yeah, and
That's,
under
that's
20
probably a
in-
lot more because the way like the age pyramid works, you have a lot of younger people, and then it really tapers off sharply
Right.
as you get older. So I imagine, I think it would be more interesting that they're exclusively human.
It's an age trapezoid now.
Well, I would also guess that the average human life is like what, like you probably don't get
50 to 70.
far fewer. Well, in this like era, I would imagine it's younger. So under 20 would probably be like at least half of the female population in this city.
Yeah, and then you'd have to figure that what that is, based on human, like whatever the racial breakdown is.
Very well. I'll say I'd like to pay my respects to the dead. Would you let us know Where is the graveyard around here?
Not suspicious at all.
Well,
I mean, that's something I could totally see a
that's all
Wizard
technically
of
true.
Pharasma.
Paranoid guards. Was there anything really in there about the empty lot?
Like most civilized towns, we bury our dead outside the city walls. You will
Hmm.
find
And you are right to.
you will find a graveyard a few miles north on the road.
Very well. I think that's all that I have.
No, you
I
didn't
think,
find anything about the lot, and that was actually the man answering your question. The woman emerges from the cubby in the back room, and she says, "I looked, and I regret that I can't find anything on the lot back there."
Suspicion.
Eyebrow raise.
Yeah, I think I would throw one that way
I'm gonna
for
ask.
what it's worth.
Do you have any idea if there's any other place we could look? Is there like a library with possibly town history or something in it?
I believe we have all the records, but you could look around certainly. Leopold and Havelock, you both get the sense that she isn't being completely forthright with you.
I lean in and go, if there is something that happened there, it is important we know because it could affect the outcome of this investigation, and we wouldn't want an innocent man to get harmed for something he didn't do.
And indeed, if a town or its representatives are standing in the way of carrying out Pharasma or
Justice.
even, dare say, Iomede's will, those goddesses might not look too favorably. I'm not a wordsmith. On the inhabitants.
Irony.
I know, right? It would certainly behoove you to be as forthright as possible with any facts that we request or that occur to you.
She says, "Yes, I understand that. If I find anything, I promise I will turn it over to you."
Oh, God.
Gonna intimidate her, aren't you?
Well, I don't want to. Here's the thing: intimidate is really a double-edged sword, because if you use it, they are unfriendly toward you.
If you
Yeah.
fail. If you
It's a
succeed,
short
they
term-
are friendly.
They are. You can make them act friendly, but they will be unfriendly toward you no matter what.
Yeah,
If you
afterwards.
intimidate.
It's a short-term gain for
Yeah.
long-term penalty.
Exactly. So I don't know that I want to use that willy-nilly.
I'm
really good at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign to Havelock and say perhaps pushing our luck here may not be worth it until we discover more information.
Yeah. I mean, we tried to be friendly with her, and it didn't work. But
Yeah,
Alex will
you can
sign
tell that she's very nervous for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
Alex will
Could
sign
we
that
diplomacy?
perhaps the
we already did it.
Alex will sign that perhaps the weight of evidence will pry loose her tongue.
Ah, that was well phrased. I suggest that we, and I'm gonna say this in low tones to you guys. Suggest that we go pay our respects at the graveyard. Hint, hint.
All right.
I like this idea.
I nod in agreement.
Yeah.
So I guess I will lead the way out, and as we pass by the colorful guard, I'll nod to him and say, "Excellent work, young man. Keep that sermonizing going. You got to reach those teens.
He needs an
Oh my
extreme teen
God.
Bible.
You need an extreme teen Bible.
All right.
Save the teens, save the world."
Oh God. Memories of heroes.
Yeah, before it got bad.
Yep.
so good,
before
and then it was so bad.
So-
It's just
killed
like,
itself.
Wasn't the whole point of this whole solving the trial thing so you wouldn't have to go through the fort to go north?
wait, what?
It was to get any information that I could. It was also to confirm that this dude was actually innocent, and
Right, but in
to see if
terms
we
of
met any other.
getting past the wall guard at Fort Violet.
I didn't even know there was wall guard that we had to get past. Like, they won't just let us go.
You guys had talked about earning the trust of the townsfolk so you could pass through there without getting detained or
Or
searched.
do we have to go out that way?
Yep.
I mean, you could cross the river, I guess.
I
Not
just didn't hear that
suspicious
that's
at
the
all.
direction that we had to go.
Okay.
Perhaps the counselors would give us some sort of
Rite of passage.
permit for free passage.
Leopold, you gotta go flirt with that lady.
I mean, I am the older one of the group, aren't I?
Do it for the teens, Leopold.
Oh my
Teens.
god.
You hate the teens. You've
I-
already said this.
Well, yeah,
Street youths.
but you don't hate the the youths, flippin' and churlish.
She's fucking still going on about that, even in the quiet conversation.
Okay, so I just want to take inventory of the information that we have and the routes that we've gone through. We have investigated the murder site, which is a week old, so had no evidence. We are operating under suspicion of a rumor that there's a serial killer because there's been a huge series of murders and
Of identical almost murders.
Yeah, identical murders dropped at the same place with the same circumstances, same possibly charm person spell involved. 3 people have been executed for those murders. A 4th one is about to be executed for those murders.
2 people
Two
were
and a third.
executed.
Okay,
Yep.
2 were executed for those murders. A 3rd is about to be executed for those murders, and there is literally no evidence in their evidence that is any use to
And
us.
they're also
They're all
completely
hiding
lying
something.
to us.
They're completely
Yeah.
lying to us.
Well, they're very suspicious of us. It doesn't say it. I mean, she did lie. She did withhold some information, but it's clear that they are suspicious of us. And if we could alleviate that suspicion, and perhaps gain a better name in the town, perhaps there's other things we could do.
Yeah, that's what
That
I'm
would
thinking.
alleviate suspicion?
Is that we should excuse ourselves from the council chamber and perhaps go back to the tavern where we
Okay.
have some lunch. It's been a while. Have some lunch.
Yeah.
That sounds tasty.
To Ilix, it seems it seems very unlikely that there's this large lot in the middle of town that they have no records on and no one has built anything on.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Like it seems that there seems unreasonable. Something is keeping
Are you
people
guys
away
discussing
from this area.
this in the bar? Or
Shouldn't discuss this in the council chambers for one.
well, you guys said you were
Yeah,
going to the tavern, so I just assumed you were there. But is
Well,
this
we'll
out of
probably-
character or?
I
think
would
the conversation
love to
started
have
out
the
of character.
conversation in character, but whereabouts? Not in the council chambers. So I mean,
no,
if you guys
I think
have a better
on the
idea.
way. I think kind of
Yeah,
walking
sure.
outside. I'm not announcing, or she's not announcing her thoughts to the world.
Speaking
but
in hushed
just,
tones.
just so the group can hear that.
Yeah, as we travel, I'm going to suggest that council seems to have ulterior motives and think that we're trying to uproot them. That perhaps in order to gain their trust, there is another thing we could do for them. That would be the way that we go about solving this murder, because they have the information we need, and we can't get the information any other way.
Perhaps we should inquire about the shunned lot
Shunned
with
lot.
the town folk as well. Our friendly bartender may have some information.
That's a good idea.
Okay. You guys get in there.
To the toad.
Yeah,
To the
I
Lucky
mean,
Toad.
because it's only like a block, quote unquote, away.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, it's really
seems
not that far.
whether or not that's really where it's supposed to be in relation, on the map. But
Yeah, that's where it is.
Totally good.
Toad, are we good?
All right, you guys get into Lucky Toad. It is, it's probably around lunchtime now, so there's a few more patrons in here now than there was before, but it's still pretty slim pickings as far as people goes.
yeah, Ilix will offer to buy lunch
Oh,
if we're going to do that. The gold piece business.
Yeah, this guy's gonna fucking
Might as
love
well.
us.
Right? Nothing like a group of murder
Ah,
hobos to get
here's my
business.
favorite customers. Sit down.
so what's the Toad special for today?
The menu hasn't changed, my dear, and he hands you the carved wood that's really stained from all the people. Like, it looks like it's probably never been cleaned, and people just like spill food and stuff on it. So it's just got like
It's a tradition.
really ancient brown stuff just on it.
You know
Good
you're in
sir.
a dive when you get that.
Have you ever considered making a large menu that you post on the wall that people
Oh
don't
yes,
have to
this is
But-
grab
genius.
with their grimy hands?
But what if I wanted to change it?
You just
Well,
cross it out and
then you just
write it
change-
in.
I reach
The
into
one
my
menu.
pack and I pull out a piece of chalk and I hand it to him and say, and I start signing, and I hope Havelock starts translating for me, that this is a magical invention that will allow him to erase and make changes to his menu whenever he wants.
It's incredible.
Oh.
I'm not sure what the obsession with carving fucking letters and shit into things is in this town, but there are other ways to handle this. Chalk is a great one.
But this is like the attitude of the bar. It's like
I look at Havelock, and then I look at the bartender, and then I just give a shrug and
You're trying to turn me.
and point
This is a
out something on
dive.
the
You're
menu
trying to
eat.
turn me into a hipster bar. Should I get an iPad for you to swipe your to do your order from your own table?
Yeah.
why don't I
fucking
just
dope.
fire all the
Use an iPad.
waitresses while I'm at it?
I mean,
Imagine if you presented an iPad to someone in this town. Just imagine that for a
Eyes, they
second.
burn so bright.
they'd probably hang you. If you
Well,
brought
keep
a
in mind,
fucking
like
iPad.
they're used to magic. Like they don't like
They're
it.
not
but
that used to it. I mean, magic is pretty rare. It's not rare among adventurers, but it's pretty rare in the world. From what I understand, at least.
Yeah, and here there's pretty strict laws around it. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which we don't know.
Very well. I'll have the poached elk or deer or something, venison.
You made it. Yeah, there's poached deer and boiled
Yeah.
veal. And steamed trout and poached boar.
Ooh, I'll
I mean,
take the steamed
poached and
trout,
boiled are
wild
almost
caught.
exactly the
again.
same thing. Are these
Mm.
poached animals like poached in hot water or literal like poached?
They're poached in hot water, and that's after they have been marinated in whiskey or brandy or mead.
Well, that's the opposite order you want to do that, but excellent. I'll have that.
Well, they're not fucking expert cooks here, okay?
Clearly,
Jesus.
they're poaching shit in like bourbon and liquor, and then they fucking boil it in water afterward. You fucking boil all the flavor out.
We don't
He's fucking.
poach things in water. It's like steaming it.
I thought
So,
poaching is
question,
when you drop
Alex.
it straight into boiling water.
I have a poaching pan though for eggs, and you don't put it in the water.
You're right. A moist heat cooking
Is-
technique.
Is the fish wild caught or
Well,
farm
sort of.
raised?
They don't have fish farms, Susu.
I know.
It's wild caught.
I know. That's good. All right, I'll take the wild caught fish then.
Okay. He's
What
writes
would we
The
down
gonna
the
irony
orders.
of the oldest party member being the most hipster.
Well, yeah.
I think
Right.
Ilix is the oldest, actually.
Weren't we gonna ask a question or something?
About the lot.
Well, that's your guys' deal. Havelock, I think, is like that's not the track he's following.
Okay. So what are you guys asking?
We're probably trying to find what the hell the empty lot was, and no one wants to seem to tell us. So I guess I'm just going to immediately use a diplomacy check.
You guys went to
And
the
fail.
courthouse?
Yes, and they seem to be quite uptight about the things that they had to say.
Well, that's odd. They should have record of that lot.
We figure they do. They just don't want to tell us.
Well,
We are
he
newcomers.
leans in to be all hush. Says, "You could just go take it."
Not really
Isn't that
my forte.
illegal?
Oh.
I start signing to Havelock that if we take the records, then we only serve to further the council's distrust.
Well, you didn't hear that from me. He leans back and starts cleaning another tankard.
I'm sensing motive on this dude. Well, that's a shitty roll.
He seems like he's been sufficiently bribed.
I will
That's right.
start signing and ask is like, you wouldn't by chance happen to know of any patrons that might be willing to find those records for us for a fee?
Oh, I can't think of any men brave enough. The
My good
punishment's
sir.
rather strict here.
Aside from this little mass murdering pickle that you guys have gotten yourselves into, are there any other jobs that need tending to that might alleviate the tensions in this town?
I can't think of any.
Ah, blast.
You want to like mow people's lawns or something?
When he says that, I kind of peek up and ask if there is sort of like a town gardening commission.
No,
Oh
there's
my
not.
god.
There's not. I'm sorry, man.
Go make the courthouse all nice and pretty, and maybe they'll like me.
Though I suppose if you wanted, you could go out and try to hire someone in Nathras Village to do your dirty work for you.
Well, perhaps we should check Nathras Village anyway. We haven't been
For a
there
clue.
yet. And my sense meta is tingling when the guard suggested we
Mhm.
check Nathras Village.
The guard? You mean the bartender?
No, the guard
Yes.
had
The guard had
suggested
done it too.
the guard had done it when
Well.
we first got here. He was being
Oh,
he was
I
being a
thought you
dick,
meant.
but
I thought you confused the bartender who was telling us to go find someone to get our dirty work done for us in Nathersville. Like, okay, guard,
oh no.
I'll go get the thief from the slums now.
No, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you just got it mixed up. I just didn't hear you. So it's a Nathras slumlord village then.
That's my plan now that I've consumed lunch.
I hope it was to your liking.
Yeah, you could
It was.
it was good. It was quite good, but my good man, I would suggest that in the future you poach in water, then in the finer flavors afterward. Really bake them in there.
You might be onto something.
I pick up my piece of chalk and ask or gesture asking if he's going to use it.
He looks at your chalk and then kind of chorts and walks away while he's writing down this new idea.
But how
He's
is he
got his
ready?
shtick.
Is he writing with chalk?
He has a pencil.
Okay. I take my chalk and put it back in my
Guy's got a
backpack.
fucking pencil. And they're fucking carving notes in wood like fucking heathen.
It's the fucking menus, man. Jesus.
I've
These
never
guys are-
seen anybody
they're
do
so
that in my
picky.
life. It's so weird.
Like, good news, guys. We're adding one thing to the menu. Just, just fucking stab.
I mean, I guess paper is like really hard to come by here, so like I get it.
I mean, there's also wood shaping
Papers.
magic, just saying.
I
Yeah,
don't
that
think
sounds cheaper.
We
bartender of the
established
Lucky
that
Toad.
magic is rare.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it only takes one drunk wizard.
Guess.
See, I think it'd be more of a druid thing.
Easier to find that than it is to get a few sheets of paper, but whatever.
Do you really think
I can-
paper's gonna survive a bunch of drunk people?
That's a good point. That's why they laminate that shit.
Yeah, it is true.
Laminate doesn't
I'm
exist.
pretty
yet.
sure they don't have laminate.
I know, no, but
Or
like
a
nowadays,
sign. Just a sign.
a giant
Anyway.
chalkboard that has your specials on it.
I love how
I
caught up
suggest
in the
Nathras
fucking
Village.
menu you guys are getting.
This is the real fucking mystery
This
we
is
need to
the
solve.
mystery.
It was
Fuck
always
that
about,
guy
it was always about the
on
menu,
death
Chris.
row.
It was always
About
about
to
the
be-
menu, Chris.
Yeah.
You guys got me. You solved my menu puzzle.
The maniacal menu.
Shit.
Send that shit into Paizo. Those motherfuckers.
The
that
bartender
published
has
today.
just been spending all his years trying to confuse adventurers.
into not finding out
It's a
he's the
trap.
murderer.
You see, what I do is every time investigators come to this town, I hand them these perplexing menus. And they
Then they fuck all their
unerringly,
diplomacy rolls and then can't get any information on the murder.
unerringly get trapped in this whirlpool of intrigue I've created around my menus.
Jesus.
That brown stain? Who knows what that brown stain is?
Gross.
It's gross, man. That's what it is. So to the slum.
To the slum.
Okay, just a second. Whoops.
Why are you rolling perception for me?
Don't worry about it.
I like rolling my own perceptions. I roll
I'm
nat 20s.
sure that you do.
But you didn't roll a nat
Uh,
20 for me. What's wrong with you?
You know, you're not wrong. That shouldn't be rolling public anyway. So that's fun. But now I suppose the jig is up, so fuck it.
Balls.
Havelock does especially bad looking around the slums.
I'm not the most perceptive fellow. Perceptive.
Damn, Ilix. Plus 11? You fucking crazy person.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's why I keep her around.
Not that bad. Mine's plus 9.
Poor Havelock sees nothing
I mean,
or
Plus
everything.
it's not terrible. You guys notice this shit. I like interpret it and then intimidate people into giving us breakfast.
Okay, you guys enter Nathras Village, and you can take a look around if you'd like. What are you
Think we
looking
just
for?
did.
You didn't, actually.
Oh.
Shady folk.
I will look around then. And I am
I mean-
looking for perhaps poor people who seem to be looking for lost children or lost young women. Or
I just
particularly
want to
shady
know what
thieves.
it looks like.
Okay. 1 second.
Oh, yeah. Is there anybody that looks like they just got away with a crime?
Yeah, a lot.
All of them.
Like a lot.
Most of them?
Yeah. This this is largely like half fallen over shacks and tents. It kind of looks like a Hooverville up in here. There is, you recognize that the predominant populace here is Varisian, which you know are not thought of fondly in this region of the world.
The gypsy people.
Yep.
Gross.
If you give me a knowledge local, I can give you more.
Hang on.
There we go. So yeah, you know that the wall guard here do a lot of inspections to people that are attempting to travel through Tamrivena, and a lot of people end up stranded on suspicion of criminal intent or just because they're racist. So a lot of wanderers are denied entry or expelled from the city, and they end up congregating outside the town walls, just sort of waiting for like whimsy to carry them off, or waiting for a court date or that kind of thing.
So the crooked kin are probably going to end up getting caught up in this.
It could happen.
Actually, shit, are they here? Because, I mean, they're Varisian, and they were coming up here, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
They do owe us a favor. I wonder if any of them are sneaky. That wolf boy seemed sneaky.
The wolf boy.
Yeah, he's incredibly inconspicuous.
You know? They just think it was a wolf. It's the perfect plan.
The plans weren't stolen. A wolf.
Oh yeah,
came
there's
in and
a
took
bunch
them.
of wagons out here too, because travelers.
Wagon.
With 21, I suppose you also know that you've heard rumors of sort of like a de facto leader out here who leads the whole place with his sons, and he kind of unites everyone in burglary and blackmail and vandalism.
I was about to say, like, if we could find him, we could at least convince him that certainly someone under his employ is capable of doing it. But, like, we could probably say, like, I mean, we could obviously pay for the services, but it's also the fact that he's stuck here too, so his people are just as much at risk as, anyone in town, supposedly. Because there's no rhyme or reason to the murders other than young girls.
Yes,
So certainly
let's
there
find the
are
gray
young
fox.
Yeah,
It's the Gray Fox.
yeah,
Yep.
basically.
Well, maybe not quite as in-depth. I don't think he's that magical. Or maybe he is. We'll find out. I search for him a little bit. I mean, what would we
Ask around,
I mean,
perhaps. Diplomacy.
I guess, yeah, hold on. Diplomacy. No, not today. Goddamn.
Yeah, you approach a few people. They all sort of avoid you. There we go. Why? Okay, yeah. Havelock.
Trust the Inquisitor.
You you change your entire demeanor and approach one of these criminals, and you ask them where the leader is, and he points to a rather large, closed wagon that's off in the distance a ways.
Thank you. And might I say, young teen, you've got a bright young look about you. You're going places in this world.
Okay. Tanner, are you
Thing is,
there?
my character's like early 20s.
My
Yeah,
character's
what's up?
132.
I sent you a
Well,
thing.
I had to
Tanner.
step away.
It's alright.
Yeah, I'll pull out the war razor and I'll put it on their hand as I see them like trying to reach into the pocket,
Okay.
and then give them a very stern look. And I'm
Ah.
attempting to not make this a scene.
Okay.
Well, I guess I guess I shouldn't
Yeah,
roll my
no,
stealth roll,
that's
but
no, that's fine. Okay. So he looks at you like wide-eyed because he got caught, and he like snaps his hand back and takes off running.
yeah. Mostly, I like put the flat of the blade against his hand. You know, like you have an opportunity to walk away.
Yep.
You know, so
And he
and
took
he
it.
did. So that's good.
Yep.
Look at that young man there, rushing off to seize his fate, to carpe his diem. My
He was
God,
trying.
this village has the finest young people we've come across yet.
He was trying to copy to carpe your pocket.
My what? I checked my pockets. Do I seem to be missing anything?
Nope.
No.
Thanks to your friend here. No.
Oh. I'll look probably a bit sheepish and embarrassed, and try to cover it up poorly. Thank you, Ilix. I appreciate that. Perhaps we ought
course.
to have a word with this boss man.
Mhm.
Okay. You make your way to the wagon. And the door is open, and it looks like the wagon's been sitting here for quite a while. Like, the wheels are pretty much broken, and it looks like it's just been, like, look. It looks like the idea of moving it has just been abandoned, and it's just gonna be here now.
So it's like a trailer that they like built a porch around.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It looks like they wheeled it here, and then like the wheels just got old and rotted off, and then they just propped it up with
Didn't really matter.
stones or something. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck, what was the point of this? Are we trying to...
We're trying to find a thief because none of us really have the the
We either
know-how
want-
to actually.
Either
wanna
want a thief
commission-
to steal the records for us, or we're looking for more clues to the murders.
Okay.
I have an alternate suggestion, which would be perhaps they know a way to smuggle us across the bridge to get to that graveyard.
Also, good.
Or you could decide you don't care about the guy who's in prison, and you could just have them smuggle you out of the town.
That's...
I mean,
that's a good
ideally, I
option
would
to have
like-
in the back pocket.
Yeah. I mean, I got a rest for 2
I'm
more
neutral
days,
good,
but
though. Like, I feel like I can't... I know this dude's good. I need to... I would like to resolve this. Kick this guy out of prison.
Okay.
Or death.
So who is going in first? Describe me what's going on.
I'll go in first.
I will follow Havelock as I always do.
Not long
Yes.
behind them.
I think
Right
Ilix
behind.
will take up the end, just sort of keeping an eye out. Actually, I don't know. Ilix might kind of stay outside,
Okay.
Yeah.
just to listen, but also keeping an eye open.
Okay. Alex, you can see that there are several people eyeing you right now.
Uh-oh.
What kind of people are we talking? Like,
You
Youths!
can't tell if they are any kind of rank specifically, but just a few people that look.
Are they guards or are they like?
They're people from this village.
Okay,
I was mostly wanting to make sure that the wall people weren't like the ones scoping us.
No, there's no guards out here.
Okay,
They don't
Yeah.
really
This
want
is,
to.
like,
They
outside
don't,
of the
don't really
city
want to
limits,
mix with
right?
their filth. So yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
Ouch.
But yeah,
I'll
you've
just-
been noticed. Is the point? So
Yeah. Ilix is just gonna kind of stand outside and Pretend like she's cleaning her fingernails with her dagger.
Ooh,
Okay.
sexy.
You find the
I'm-
weirdest thing sexy.
Havelock, when you walk in, you find
Oh
a.
shit! God damn.
You find nothing.
Fuck.
Okay. Havelock, when you walk in, there is a man wearing pretty fine leathers, sitting in a chair, and he's leaning backward, carving a fruit with a knife.
Does he look up when I enter?
You think he might have glanced in your direction, but you're not sure.
All right. I guess I'll walk in and I'm just gonna kind of like chill for a second, watching him carve the knife. I'm onto his game. He wants me to speak first and like be awkward. I'm just gonna chill.
You're
There's-
gonna stand awkwardly instead of speaking.
I'm just watching him carve the nut or carve the fruit. He thinks he's the master of intimidation. I'm about to show him where the fucking breakfast food is.
Oh, God. That's his verb for intimidate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Show me the breakfast food.
He says, "Well, if you're just gonna stand there." He puts his feet down and leans forward to you, and he shoves a piece of fruit in his mouth and says, "What do you need?"
Understand that you're the man to come to when a fella needs something done within this city, Tamrivena, which I know so well.
Smooth like butter.
Happens. It just so happens that my friends and I might need to procure a particular item.
From whom?
This would be from the River House.
He raises an eyebrow and smirks when you say that. He says, "Oh, you don't say."
I do say.
What do you need
just-
that for?
There's been some murders happening, and I'm attempting to find the true culprit.
Oh yes, I'm aware.
Are you aware?
They think they're fooling us by arresting people, but I know what happened to my daughter.
Your daughter?
Wow.
What the fuck? I'll say your daughter was one of the victims?
Presumably. Kiara's been missing for a few years now.
This wouldn't be the first. What's his nationality?
He's
Race?
also Varisian.
Wouldn't be the first Varisian girl to meet an untimely end in this area. In fact, we just, unfortunately, were too late to save another Varisian child on the way here.
Face spider.
Oh.
Phase spider.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a bad way to go.
It was indeed. We got the phase spider in the end, though. Your daughter is imprisoned, or wow, your daughter was presumably killed by this murderer, and the man that they have locked up for the crime, I'm convinced, is not the guilty party.
As am I.
How do you know that? I mean, I believe you because they're lying scum, but how do you know that?
I'm an inquisitor of Pharasma.
And that
have an
grants you
ability...
lie detecting powers?
Yes. Like, legitimately, pretty much,
Oh.
yes. Tell me... I'll tell you what. I can show you a power that I have, and I use detect... I'll use detect... lawful? I'm trying to see if I.
Okay.
How well do you know the men on your crew?
Pretty well. They've been with me for many years now.
Would you say that you could tell that if I were able to tell you who among them was good or evil or lawful or reckless, would that prove something to you?
Not really. I think I know who's who. And
Well,
we want to keep
I'm
the
not trying
moles from knowing we're on to them. So
I'm not trying to inform him who's bad. I'm trying to demonstrate my ability.
yeah, he's telling you that he has a pretty good idea of who his people are, and more importantly, he doesn't want the moles to know that they're on to them because they like to feed them incorrect information.
I feel like there's still a
I'm-
misunderstanding going on here.
I'm going to tell him who on his crew is good or evil or chaotic or lawful, so that he will be able to confirm that I know what I'm talking about and thereby grant me the credit.
Okay.
So he'll believe that I know what I mean.
Okay.
Anyway, but I don't have to go that tack.
No, we can.
I
That's
was
fine.
trying to find an expedient method of. Alright, I detect good or evil or chaotic or whatever and
Okay.
finger the people to try to let him know
Yep.
that I
You
can tell
get-
these things.
You get up on in there and clean out every butthole.
Yep.
And
Well,
Finger the People
feel
is
like-
my new single, dropping on my latest album.
God. Jesus. Okay.
You walked right fucking into it, man.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I did. I marched self-righteously into that one.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, he's impressed with your ability to judge a person's character.
We're trying to investigate. We think that there is some sort of supernatural element to this murderer, and we believe that there might be some information on a document in the River House, which the council persons are loath to grant to us, and we need to find someone that can get that document. If we can, and we can resolve this, we could bring the true killer to justice.
Interesting.
And I'm an inquisitor, and let me tell you, when I find the guilty, I'm all about burning them mofos.
You
All
get yourself
about
a
it.
justice boner, I take it.
A hard justice boner.
I see. Well, very good. What's your price for such things? What are you willing to pay?
Well, it's not life
I am willing to pay the price of avenging your daughter's death.
That's all noble and everything, but around here, money talks.
You're happy to let your daughter's murderer go free.
He has for this
Because-
long.
Yeah, that's why he
know
murdered
what,
your daughter.
Well then, and that's how you get thrown out.
I can't believe I'm getting stonewalled by this guy.
It's also the fact that like
I'm
he's gonna send
offering
his
to find his daughter's murderer, and he's just like, gotta sweeten the pot. Like, what the fuck?
money, man.
I mean, I feel
Okay.
He's a
sad
fucking
thing is,
thug.
I feel like if you were to offer, like, if someone were to murder Donald Trump's daughter, and you were to offer Donald Trump, I can find the person who did this, he'd be like, okay, but like, how much are you gonna pay me to get the information you need to do that? Like, I feel like this kind of person very easily exists, and you're just uncomfortable with the fact that that happens. Like,
Well, you're
Ryan
not
Smith.
wrong that Ryan Smith is uncomfortable with the fact that these fucking people exist. But I'm like fucking like Havelock is like face palming. Like, is this guy for real?
I mean, he runs a criminal organization, and his daughter's been gone a while.
Hang on.
What about
Have
like
you seen Mystic River?
what about
I
like
haven't.
would
How
a
much-
favor
oh
for
my
a favor
God.
work? Like getting us out the North Gate? I mean, that shouldn't be too
Can
much
I
of a
appro-
challenge for
Yeah. Can I appraise his services?
I'm not there, but
Yeah, we could forge you some documents. He looks over all of you. The elves will be a little more challenging. Can you? Yeah, we could probably disguise you. Yeah. So I think we could probably do some document forgeries for 5 gold apiece, and then maybe 5 more per disguise.
This is highway robbery. I'll take it.
I will just like tap Havlak on the shoulder and be like, "This is the camp of highway robbery."
And if you're wanting us to rob the courthouse of a document and you don't want it damaged, I'll say that off would probably, we could probably do it for, I suppose it's not anything valuable. What do you say, 15 gold for that one?
Well, if
Jesus.
only they fucking wrote their court documents on wooden pallets that they carved with knives, it'd be nigh indestructible. Yeah, okay.
I'll chip in.
Okay.
Same.
He seems actually genuinely impressed that you guys are stacking these coins on his table right now.
So 3
Yeah.
gold pieces each.
We're for real. Alright, so that would be,
Well, I mean, it's 8 gold pieces each, and then the elves have to pay an extra 5 gold for the disguises if they want to leave town.
Okay.
That 8 gold give us each fake documents
Okay.
so that we can get through
Yeah,
the
okay.
fort.
yeah. Very well. You've got yourself a deal, person.
how much is it gonna owe? So I can.
I think it's 8 gold each. Is that right?
Elves 13.
Okay.
Okay.
13 for elves.
Racism!
Cause racism.
Because Ilix isn't in there right now, so I figure one of you guys would probably put the coin up for me, and then I would,
Yeah.
pay you
Mhm.
back.
Yep.
Yeah, no worries.
An elf for an elf.
Leaves the whole world pointy.
Don't even get a fucking discount for avenging your daughter's death.
You haven't
Right.
done it yet.
Murder. Well, how about this?
I look at Havelock and ask him to translate for me, and I was like, well, we have now paid for your services. So, if this is what I'm understanding, if we were to find your daughter's killer, what would you pay for that information?
Now we
His
got
continued
'em.
support and not turning us in, probably. Just saying.
Shh, don't give him
Thank you, fellows.
ideas.
You shut up,
Mhm.
Travis. Do not give the DM
Travis-
ideas.
Travis, it's like your job is to like give the fucking DM outs. You're just like fucking making it rain with
We
outs for the
all
DM.
have, okay, out of character, we all have
I
over
have
1,000
too.
gold.
No, don't.
No.
I'm
Yeah, I
poor
know.
as fuck.
I think
Well,
You
you're
didn't
poor.
take any money from that? From
He
all that
took it.
crap
He
from
probably
before?
spent it already.
Oh.
Okay, I have over 1,000 gold, but like
I was about to say.
still,
I have
like
1,700 gold. I know you got gold.
Like, we're fucking rich as fuck compared
Yeah,
to these people.
I could retire
want
900
robes.
times on this.
And, like, live a generally okay life.
Not even you could a life of luxury. 1,700 gold.
Yeah, for 10
So
gold
he
a day for
seems
super luxury.
to not really take you seriously on that one, and he says, "Right. So let me know when you get that, okay?"
You know what?
And
We won't.
he snaps his fingers, and somebody brings in some fake documents that, after a brief discussion, end up with all of your real names on them, because he talks about that being much easier on people pretending to be someone else when they're not good at it. And so, and then he also gives you some like fancy ear coverings that look like they might be like pig ears, maybe, that they like reshaped the cartilage of.
Bro.
I mean, you don't have to wear one, Havelock.
Oh, I
You're
know.
not,
I'm just saying.
you're not
it's
really
gross.
sure what method they used, but they created something out of pig cartilage. You're rather certain.
I'll fry that over the fire sometime later tonight.
That's not a good idea. That's your disguise.
She's just like snacking on her ears as she's walking through the gate.
Yeah, they put some ears on you, and they change the way your hair is done to have a much more human-looking braid. And they also give you some clothing that will help hide your thinner stature.
Mm.
So,
When
tell me exactly what document we're looking for on this mission of yours.
We're looking for documents pertaining to the empty lot on Glass and... Fuck, I keep forgetting the other name.
Burke.
Burke and Glass, just north of the intersection. We suspect it may have something to do with the murders. And people are
Alright.
being very hush about it.
Just so my guy doesn't have to dig, we'll probably just grab all the land rights stuff we can find.
It would be actually, I think we've paid you the money. It needs to pass a cursory inspection from the council persons. They can't
you
know
don't want
we
them to
stole this
know
stuff.
that it's been lifted. I see.
It's a document.
All right. We'll try for that.
Excellent. How long? When can we expect it?
Well, the council has a few matters to attend to in the evenings this week, so we wouldn't want to risk anyone working late. Perhaps in 2 days' time, we could get you that.
2 days' time, then.
Maybe sooner. We'll see.
I don't suggest sending in the wolf boy.
Who?
There's no wolf boy.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who?
Yeah.
Oh God.
The wolf boy, not the owl boy.
When the job is complete, you can find us at the Soldier's Rest.
Curious.
We'll be praying and preaching to teens.
Okay. Yes, well, get out of my wagon.
Okay, that's a bit brusque. I'm solving your daughter's murder for a hobby and paying you for it.
He's a businessman, what can I say?
That sounds like
he's
your
moved
problem,
on.
not
Christ.
mine.
I've got so much gold, the money that I
Maybe
just
don't drop
paid
that
you.
information.
God, yeah, it's good.
Did you actually say that?
No, I'm making a point meta wise,
Alright.
like
I was gonna say,
Piece
that's
of
a
shit.
bad plan.
Yeah, in a fucking town of thieves.
I could have just intimidated the motherfucker.
Yeah, you could have, but you didn't.
Breakfast.
But you didn't. It's over now.
Well,
Moving on.
all right. Well, I don't have anything else that I wanted. Oh, we have the documents, so we can go. We could go north to the graveyard.
I mean, we don't really have. That's a good way for leaving, but we don't really have any way of speaking with the dead, and I'm not going to dig up a corpse.
I don't need to
you
speak
know?
with the dead. I want to examine the runes that were carved on their bodies.
By digging up a corpse interred in a
There
holy
wasn't
graveyard?
runes. I don't know where that's coming
Or
from.
words, whatever. Some shit that was carved on them.
It just said regards from K.
Ah,
Oh. Oh, fuck.
so it's just a calling card then. But I mean, I for one am not gonna go to a graveyard and dig up a corpse. That has
They
been
didn't all have
interred.
it carved on them either. Some people just had like a note, just like around their necks.
Ah.
Or what was left of the neck.
Man, I'm suspicious of this council person, but
Which one?
Are they spelling council with a K?
the old guy. Clearly there was some person that was named K who
That's why we're stealing this
was,
document.
was done wrong by somebody in this town. I'm assuming somebody on the council, since he's trying to destabilize the town, I assume. Or this lot it is all on this lot, I think. Something about this
I'm gonna
lot.
ask our friendly neighborhood, very well bribed bartender.
Oh yeah,
as we eat dinner.
his pockets are well lined at this point.
This motherfucker, we give him like 3 gold, and he's like our fucking best friend forever. We're solving this dude's daughter's murder, and we gave him a bunch of money, and he's still a fucking dick.
He's also an asshole and a thug
Huge
and runs a bunch of
asshole.
thieves.
I'm just saying, like, Havelock is getting a fucking itchy greatsword finger for this dude.
Soon.
I mean, you are an inquisitor, so that's not that weird.
No, I'm saying, I got a fiery burning in my
Sword hand.
You might. Would you say you feel the fires of justice?
I actually have a spell now called Flames of Justice.
God damn it.
I'm feeling that for sure.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
no,
gonna
what is it? Flames of the
I-
Faithful.
I'll have someone translate as I ask the bartender if he knows, like, if he can share any information about the council, like their history, who the people are, how they came to be the council.
Can we canvas for this information with diplomacy?
What did the bartender have to say about that lot? Did he say anything?
No, he doesn't know anything about it.
Oh.
He did say that the council should have information on that, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. My headphones were cutting out at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him to teach us everything he can about the council so that we can learn. Because I'm assuming that as, you know, a business owner in their town, he would know who they are.
Yeah. Or maybe we could ask if there are any other keepers of lore here in town. A local practicing wizard.
But we've paid him and he's our friend.
Yeah, well, we asked the bartender if he knows of anybody.
Tell us everything, bartender. Tell us everything.
Picking, like, who
Start
else would
with the
know
day
those
you were
things?
born.
Who's the
You've-
oldest person in town?
You've never
Who's,
been to Tamrivena, then, I take it.
No, sir, we have not.
Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about our fair city. And he leans back like he's about to tell a story to some kids, and he's like polishing a tankard at the same time.
I lean forward closely.
I love this guy.
I hit the skip button.
Or
Oh.
fast forward.
Space.
Alex has a space to skip conversations. And
And so
What's
that's
fun?
the story of our
That-
town.
I need to. Anyway, a long time. Once at a time.
And cuts.
Yep.
That's whenever. And then that's the end of the story. Now you
In
know.
the
So-
ass with an elephant.
The downside
I-
of this action is you can't restart the dialogue, so you're fucked.
Oh, what?
No.
yeah, there was actually somebody who had made like a post somewhere about having an RPG, like a single player RPG that plays like that, so you can skip all the conversations you want, but then your character doesn't have the knowledge that he learned in that conversation, so like outlines on the mini map that would
You
tell
actually
you where
have
to
to
go.
listen to the old fuckers.
Yeah.
So, there is a group here that actually isn't specific to Tamrivena. They actually rule the area of Canterwall. It's the Palatine Council of Canterwall. The county seat is Tamrivena. So Tamrivena is the kind of the capital of this county. There's 9 members of the ruling council. Most of them aren't super active unless there's something that requires all of their attentions. Let's see. They work really hard to get rid of like deceit and extortion, and go to pretty great lengths to keep the reputation of their realm as undemanding, hardworking, and essential laborers to the rest of the country.
Very lax policy toward flippant teens, though, I notice.
God damn it. So for the most part, they try to keep a tight guard on the land's purse because they don't want the neighboring states to get jealous. They worry about the neighboring nobles, I guess I should say. So they try to keep a lot of stuff under wraps in this place. You know that the woman is her name is Zonessa Thel, the woman that you were worried about, I think, on the council. She's actually a representative of the council. She's not a councilwoman herself.
Remind me again, when I got that nat 20, I was listening to the man talk to the woman.
Yes, you were.
Okay, so the man who is he?
You explain who you're talking about to the barkeep, and I'm sorry, she is a counselor. Interesting. That's contradictory. Sure. Okay. Yeah, she's a representative, but she's also a council member. But I guess she's like a lower ranking one, maybe. The counselor you're talking about is Counselor Talida Giovanki. That's a terrible name.
Yeah, that's awful.
Counselor Barry Blue Jeans. No.
God.
Wow, Shavanki.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That is horrible.
Don't like fantasy names sometimes.
Yeah, that's a bad one. That's probably the worst one I've seen.
That's real rough.
But anyway. So yeah, they're all members of that council. They sort of rule over the local area. By and large, they've done a pretty good job, but the rules here are like pretty damn strict.
I ask our friendly neighborhood bartender if he knows why they might worry about being overthrown.
Well, I know Councilman Talada? Talada? No, I don't know. We'll say Talada. I like that better. Councilman Talada tends to be pretty suspicious. He likes to dismiss everyone as being, treasonous or trying to discredit the council. He likes to discredit people.
You're an asshole.
Well, he has a particular skill for getting rid of criticism, I suppose we should say.
Well,
Are they talking about merely political opponents locally, or some other power?
Oh, I'm not sure about all that, but
Like, are there? I guess what I'm asking is, like, are there some?
you cut out there, Tanner.
Okay. Is the council itself afraid of being overthrown by power?
You cut out
can you hear
again.
me?
I missed part of that.
is the council afraid of being overthrown by an outside power or an inside power? I think
Yeah.
is the
Is this
question.
like somebody trying to hold his Senate seat, or is this like somebody afraid of the Russians?
A little of both, I suppose.
Okay.
He worries about. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think the barkeep really knows that. he doesn't follow international politics that much. He just knows the dude is suspicious and doesn't like criticism, and so he shuts people
Okay.
down.
I ask if all of his fellow council members are like that, or if he is generally the most like that.
I'd say he's the most like that for sure.
Is he the Palpatine?
I don't know what that means, sir.
I was thinking it too.
Yeah, I don't know a better way to reframe
I do
that.
hear that he used to be a bard. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Those bards.
I used to know a bard once. He talked too much.
Too soon. It's too soon.
It'll always be too soon.
I look at my friends and say, we do have another possible course of action, and that would be to try to convince any singular councilman or woman aside from Talata to give us the records we need or the information we want. Or
Well, it
explain
was
themselves.
the lady that you thought was lying to you, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but she was more or less told to by an older man who we have just been told kind of has a little bit more power than her.
I mean, we've already
Yeah.
paid. Certain services have already been paid for, correct?
Yes.
So
I'll
that's kind of a
intimidate
moot
that money
point.
back.
I guess the only other thing would be to figure out who K's.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
But perhaps we should wait until certain
Next turn.
services have been redeemed in full.
So does our friendly bartender know if anybody else would have information like that? Like, are there any city elders or local wise men or women?
Like for the political landscape of the country?
Just
We're looking
people
for
who,
smart people in the town that are old and might know about the history of that vacant lot.
somebody who can say something other than "I don't know."
You could potentially find an aristocrat who might know those things.
Which district do the aristocrats live in?
Take your pick.
They live everywhere? Your town.
Pretty
Are
much.
you an aristocrat?
Afraid not, sir. I mean, look at our menus. We can hardly afford.
Damn.
Well, sir, by the end of our stay, you'll be able to afford 2 new menus.
Oh, 2. How generous.
I mean, we've now paid him like 3 gold. We're probably gonna come back here for every meal until I'm better. So 9 gold by the end of it. He'll be a rich man.
Doesn't a peasant make like a few gold for like an entire year of work?
More than
Yeah.
that. No. Like it's like I think it's only like 2 gold a year or something, right?
Wealth and money.
Yeah.
Give this dude like $50,000 for like breakfast and lunch.
He is a business owner, though, so it's not like he's a impoverished person.
I'm just saying, he could probably afford fucking menus.
Yeah.
He
Poverty
did,
is the
and he
norm.
bought these.
They're hand carved too. They're
They've
not
got-
flexible,
they've-
but
they've
they
got that
they,
personal
they want to work.
touch.
Yeah. They're sticky with mustache wax.
I hope he doesn't run out of poached elk or whatever the fuck it is, because he's gonna have to update all his menus. All right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Are we trying to arrive at a consensus about what to do? I mean, I feel like we put some some
I say
balls in
sleep.
motion.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe I think we should like, because it's 11:30, so if we want to kind of like tack down what we know and what our plan is for next time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I second this. Yep.
So we know that there have been a series of murders, 9. They've all been committed by different people, ostensibly.
Well, that's only a guess.
We believe that that's been the case. That seems to be what's going on.
Yeah, all signs
Of
the
those have
same.
been by, yeah, at least 3 have been committed by different people. All going to the same place over a year and a half. Was it?
Yeah,
Was it a year
18
and a half?
months. 18 months. Yep.
18 months. So
They're all women of 20 or
They're-
younger.
they're all women, 20 years of age or younger, all human women.
Yeah.
Um,
Were they white human women?
so what's
Okay.
the racial breakdown of this town if you have that information? Like,
It is predominantly human. There's a few halflings, dwarves, and then random others like gnomes and stuff. But it's of the 3,620 people, 3,558 are human.
Okay.
So literally a few. Like, almost none.
Yeah, there's 42 halflings, 15 dwarves, and 5 other.
So it's not necessarily that he would only target human women, but they may be just the ones that are most abundant. There's a greater density. Or we say he, we don't know.
Clearly doesn't
Shouldn't be
appear to be
describing.
motivated by race.
Yeah, it's not a race thing, at least as far as we can tell.
It's a
The only thing
sexist
suspicious, the only thing suspicious about the location itself is the vacant lot to the north, which nobody seems to know anything about, in what I assume is a fairly densely packed little settlement. There's signs that somebody has dug there before.
Yeah, but like a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was Monster
So,
House. I knew it.
There?
Yeah, I sort of feel like I'm scratching at a painted door with that lot, but I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
There's something about the location.
Yes, there is. I'll give you that.
Well, the fact that she wouldn't give us that, like,
Yeah.
the deed to it or whatever, that information, that seems pretty poignant.
Yeah.
Fishy
forgot about that.
motherfucker.
Yes, yes. So suspicious location that nobody seems to know anything about, and the people who might know something won't give us the information. We have paid. What was the Gray Fox's name? The thief guy.
I don't know
discover
I don't know that you caught his name.
Yeah, I don't think we even got it.
Yeah.
But I imagine it would have come up in conversation. So his name is Harnan.
Harnan. So we've paid Harnan for that information, as well as for supplies that will allow us to get out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's what I've got.
I
Anybody
still
else?
kind of think investigating that graveyard might be pertinent, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah. My only thought about that is that given the amount of time that's passed, it may be difficult to discern much.
One of them was only like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
No, it was
that's
a
fair.
week.
Oh, week.
A week
Still.
ago. So that one we would be able to examine.
Right.
Yeah, she's probably pretty ripe though.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be off-putting to Ilix or Havelock.
No.
But yeah, we need leads.
I'm waiting for fucking orcs to attack so we can win the people's trust.
Yeah.
That would be great. I would love a fight.
I mean,
I'm good.
So,
I'm good
that's
at fighting.
honestly,
As
Good
you're
fighting.
sitting at the bar, a rather shady-looking man with his hood up walks over to you. Over to you, Havelock specifically, and he says, "Are you him?"
Ooh.
Is it safe?
Sense motive.
yeah, I guess since, but I'm pretty sure I know what his motive is.
Are you
Man, that's
him?
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna
Flea
say,
is nodding furiously.
I'm gonna say, take a seat before you draw more attention to yourself.
I don't have time for that. Here. And he hands you a rolled scroll that has the signet of the council on it.
Oh.
Oh, this. Oh, okay. I just take it and palm it as
thought you were my
deftly as I
meth
can.
Okay. He walks away.
That was less than 2 days.
Yes, it
Our
was.
friend works fast.
Considerably, yeah. I guess once he's gone, I'll try to unfurl the scroll.
Mayhap we do this in a secluded
Yeah.
location.
That's probably a good idea.
I ask the bartender if he has a back room that we might be able to use.
To rent for our stay here.
We could
I mean, it's
probably clear out one of the storerooms if you want.
I mean, I would think like so they don't have any inn. This town has 3,000 some people. They don't have an inn.
Well, people tend to stay at the Soldier's Rest. There's a few rooms there. This is just a tavern. I mean, they have maybe a couple rooms, but it's not like a dedicated inn. You know what I mean? It's
I was
more of a
just
bar.
looking for a private place that we could open the scroll and
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
it.
Okay, let's
Perhaps
do
a
that
lot
then.
that nobody looks
Yeah.
at.
A table and some chairs and some relative quiet
Yeah.
and privacy.
After he provides us with that, I toss a gold piece his way.
Nice.
Keeping the money flowing, I see. Always a pleasure. And he pulls a makeshift curtain across the doorway.
What is his makeshift curtain made of wood? So I have
Yes.
an idea.
Yes,
and
now that
see
you
how-
asked me that fucking question, now it's just fucking whoa, Echo.
Hover.
Whitney.
Now it's just
A wooden curtain.
His makeshift curtain is just
You know
a piece
those
of
blinds?
plywood.
no, it's
It's like draped in front of
horsehair and wooden beads. It's a fucking bead
Oh
curtain.
my god.
Oh my god, he's a hippie.
Jesus. I like to imagine that everything in this fucking bar is made of carved wood. Like this dude just whittles nonstop.
It's actually his grandpa, okay? It's
Really,
how he remembers
really
him.
good wood
I
carving.
open the scroll. That actually is how I remember my grandpa.
Okay. So you unfurl the scroll, and it is indeed a deed to that particular lot.
Well, what's the name, or who's the possessor? Like, who is the person in possession of this? What's their name? If
I read
it's
it through in
K something.
detail.
It belongs to one Montague Thel.
Okay, so we're
Montague
dealing with
Fell.
the Shakespearean.
So I'm just gonna remind you guys that the woman,
Nope.
councilwoman's last name is Thel.
The plot thickens.
Bah, bah, bah.
Perhaps
Um,
we should investigate this Montague Thel.
Indeed.
There's no K in the name, though.
What was the woman, councilwoman's
No, I think
name? Her first name?
Zonessa?
Okay. I remember it was some weird Z name.
Yeah.
You could give me a knowledge local to see if you know who Montague is.
It's a nobleman,
But-
I bet. It's got a very nobleman name. You know how many peasants you meet with the name Montague?
Not today.
Also, I looked it up. The average trade person makes about 360 gold a year.
That's trade person though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, we're
The
throwing
average
hefty chunks of change at
peasant
him.
makes about a gold a day of work. And like it's
So,
unlikely that they can work every day of
Well,
the
a
year.
peasant, if they made a gold per day of work, that would be roughly 360 gold a year.
Well, most peasants can't work every day of the year, like between sickness
that's
and
true.
illness and
So we've basically given him, like, in the course of our being here, we've given him like 2%, almost, well, about 1% of his yearly earning. Just us, something like that.
Well, you
That's
gotta
pretty good.
figure. I mean, you gotta figure that like, if 1 gold is like a day's worth of work.
we've given him 4 gold a day.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it 4? Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, we're
Give him
at about
four full days salary
Yeah.
in 1 day.
Plus he got, all the money from his other patrons. So
Right.
he still made that gold.
yeah. So a little bit more
So
than
he's doing
1% of
real.
his total yearly budget from us.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing good for him. If he like, I don't know if we want to keep going or if we want that
I'm good for like 15 minutes.
seeing that name to be like the capstone where
That was my question.
where we scroll down to the name and he's like, oh, well, this is interesting. Montague Thel. Bah.
Yep.
End credits.
Cute.
Does anybody else
Dramatic
have knowledge local?
I don't
have it.
think anyone else has it.
That's a bummer. Okay.
I will ask the bartender if. Fuck, man. They grabbed all the like relevant documents, right?
Yeah, well, they got you the deed that you asked for.
Just the one.
They didn't dig
Okay.
around a whole lot.
All right, so we need to speak to this Montague Thel person. We could ask somebody maybe that knows the councilwoman if they know like where she resides.
Tanner, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, is there the deed that exists? Is it dated in any way?
It is
indeed. Is it when did Thel acquire
How about
this
this?
property?
What do we see when we read this deed?
And from whom?
Well, that's really long. So the deed is dated about 80 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been a hot minute. You know that he bought it from someone in the Locknave family. They're another noble house that lives in the area. Doesn't really have his intentions on the deed, but it does look like neither one of them probably used it as their main home.
Does the deed say anything about there being anything on the property?
No, it was just an empty lot.
It was purchased by Thel as an empty lot?
Yep.
Okay.
Thel had the intention of building a house there.
Okay.
Oh, actually, wait. No, there would have been a house there that they tore down, or that was condemned, and they tore it down to empty the lot out and rebuild.
Okay.
So just a really old house that was run down and ready to go. Sorry about that.
Well, that certainly adds something to our suspicions, or my suspicions at least. My suspicion is that there was some shady shit going down at this spot, and some black magic guy got taken out and has returned and is, fucking with the town or something like that. It's like some Freddy Krueger shit.
My suspicion is that there's trouble with there's some bad blood between this Thel guy and possibly the other noble family, and that they're trying to hurt him, probably through the acquisition of his property, but they're probably trying to hurt
he's still
him.
alive?
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Montague Thel is long dead.
Well, his daughter.
I mean, it's
Or granddaughter.
likely
Or
probably
granddaughter.
granddaughter or
Yeah.
grandniece, some distant
Yeah.
family member.
Yes, some distant family member could very likely be trying to get back at him. Although, why didn't they go after that woman? But I don't know. They're trying to destabilize. It seems like they're trying to destabilize the reputation of the town.
The two may be unrelated.
It's possible.
The people are naturally suspicious.
I you know what? Actually, Havelock refused to believe that they're not related. It's super weird that those two things. Okay, I see what you mean. But definitely something about the acquisition of this property pissed someone off, and they're trying to take revenge. They're trying to send some sort of message.
A
by
message is
taking
being
these
sent.
bodies,
yes.
yeah, these
I would believe
decapitated
that.
women back to this vacant
Do
lot.
they decapitate them, or do they mutilate
Yeah.
them?
They were mutilated.
Oh,
Okay.
mutilated beyond recognition.
Beyond recognition, which I mean is pretty bad. This is some Jack the Ripper kind of shit. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
if
want to
they're, like,
talk to the Fell family, and I want to talk to the family or
Longnave.
investigate the Longnave family.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something stopped Montague from building. We need to find out what that is, because I imagine it's attached. Like whatever stopped him from building there is probably what is connected in some way.
Oh shit, you guys! It's an old Indian burial ground.
Yeah.
You
I'm
got
thinking
me.
some-
You
some
solved
poltergeist
the
shit.
empty lot puzzle.
You got
I
it.
was gonna think that maybe there was a tree there that got chopped down and it got turned into menus. And the menus are cursed.
Every time somebody orders something,
You know,
off
I
those
had
menus-
I had a solution, but I like that better.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh man.
Oh fuck, that's great.
So yeah, whatever kept Montague from building is directly connected to that. And I don't know if there was he encountered something whenever he broke ground there. Maybe we should make a more thorough look at the lot. Maybe there's a basement or something like that. Something that the ground doesn't tell.
Yeah.
Listen to the dirt.
I know Ilix has suddenly got turned into like a H.P. Lovecraft character, like somebody
No,
trying to
Deshaun
get down
Blott,
to
you
the
already said it.
bottom. Yeah,
We need 3 tubs of acid though if we're
we need
gonna
to
be
get
doing
all
this.
the acid, and then we need
Oh,
to get the laser tube thing.
Yes, yep.
You guys need 3 tubs of acid. I need 3 tabs of acid.
I get
What are we
mine.
gonna do?
This thing.
I just get mine mixed with mayonnaise. That's the only way I can
Ew.
control myself from taking it all at once.
That's great.
Okay, so we need to find out what happened to Montague, why he stopped building, who he is in relation to this councilwoman.
Yeah.
I mean, to talk to the long names, long names,
The long names.
the long knaves, and
Oh, Lockney.
yeah, and
Oh,
figure out if that family still exists, and what any of them might know. If maybe they have some Aristocrats always have family records. Maybe they've got some information, about the house that was there.
We need to go talk to this
Because
Thel
clearly
lady.
they didn't live there. They clearly didn't live there. They just owned the lot. Because the house that was there was condemned. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to talk to this Zerwissa Thel or whatever.
Zanessa?
Yeah, I was kind of close.
Yep, you were getting there.
So what's up first?
I don't know if we want to I don't want to say necessarily confront her, but I don't know. That's kind of dangerous because
if we get this info, we might be able to convince her.
Yeah, but then she'll know that we stole the records. I don't know. Maybe
we didn't steal the records. We just
the records were stolen, and we have the information that the records contain.
That's not suspicious as fuck.
Technically speaking, we didn't steal the records.
We're in possession of documents that were stolen from them. That's all the evidence.
I'm pretty
they
sure
put a guy in jail because he's guilty of a crime he didn't commit. I don't think they care whether or not we actually stole the documents, just that we have the stolen documents.
And if they they don't need a lot of, like you said, they don't need a whole lot to throw people in jail. Especially if we're stealing things from the government, then it definitely looks like we're trying to destabilize the government to Mr. Palpy, Talata Javanki. So I think we should be very careful with how we handle that interaction. Because if we come at her hard with, we know things that you deliberately hid from us, and don't go look and see if that record's been stolen.
Yeah, that's not my plan.
Yeah.
My plan is to convince her that she might be in danger from this person.
Yeah.
And to see if we can hear more about this.
Okay.
Maybe we can trick her into giving us the information we already know, and then use that.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily tricking.
Well, if she admits
convincing.
if she admits to, I guess, it's not necessarily a trick any more than using skills to manipulate a person into doing something is a trick. Either intimidation or charisma or however you want to go about it. But once we get the information or convince her that we know what's going on, then yeah. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm very curious.
I just need to solve it by... You know what? We don't have acid, but I can get barrels of gunpowder.
We could blow up the whole town. And that guarantees that we kill the murderer.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
If
he
everyone's
lives
dead,
here.
the only murderers left are us, and we know we're good people, so it's cool.
We know we're the good kind of murderers, so it's okay.
So
chaotic.
Technically, a serial killer is someone who kills individual victims repeatedly. If we kill everyone at once,
we're just
mass murderers.
No, conquerors.
That's right.
I don't know that we want to own the place, though. I mean,
who's living here? We own it now. Sell it to someone else. Be on our way.
So I think I'm going to retcon just a little bit here and say that you have more than one deed, just for my own sanity, because I'm not. I can't figure out how to give you this detail in a smooth manner. So you have one deed that was dated 80 years ago for Montague Thel, and then you have a deed for basically kind of like a renewal, I guess, of when he gave it to his son, and it was an empty lot at that point too, which would have been about, we'll say 50 years later, so 30 years ago.
So it's just been a shitty place no one wants to live.
It's just been an empty lot.
All that time.
Montague is the one who had the house torn down.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to
And that
verify
aligns
that.
better with what you saw when you were there. It doesn't look like the foundation, like, staking is 80 years old. It looks like it's closer to 30. Does that
Okay.
help? Okay.
Someone tried to
Yeah.
build there recently.
Money.
Semi.
Ilix's money is on Monster in the Basement.
Yep.
Ilix thinks that there's. Yeah, I think that Jonas and I are on the same page in thinking, Monster in the Basement. There's bad juju in the lot somehow. And
I mean,
and
it's
what
more than a
it's doing
coincidence that
is-
everything happens right there next to that, you know?
Yeah, exactly
It's
what
the
it's
only
accomplishing by killing and mutilating these people. That's kind of hard to say. Who knows if it's a creature that's gaining power through these murders, or something that's
Doing it for
just
giggles.
trying to fuck with the town, or
My bet is on giggles.
satisfaction. Maybe.
Something is possessing these men to make them kill these women.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or they're already dead by some other
And
means. Then.
for some reason, definitely what are you talking about? Yes, something is possessing these men to kill these women and take them to that vacant lot. I think as they have as a grudge against the Thel family.
Yeah.
That seems pretty clear to me.
Yeah, and it may not be because the Thels are the Thels. It may be just because they were the ones that tore down the house and started digging. It may not be that personal.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know what it is, but I think there's some sort of a grudge over that lot and what the Thels did to it.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
we can explore that next time, I guess.
Now I kind of want to play a murder mystery RPG, which I guess we're getting a taste of with this area, and it's cool. I like it.
I like it too.
I'm probably not playing Ilix as written, but it's time to, when there's a murder mystery, let's do it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, because most of this is not out of the book.
Oh, okay, cool.
Don't tell us that.
Creativity.
Well, it doesn't
I demand precise, exact, and finely honed quest lines without deviation or personal investment.
Too bad, because it's not what you're getting.
I want the cookie cutter experience that every player of Carrion Crown gets.
I mean, you'll get that with some extras. And really, this part of the book opens up kind of anyway. It gives you sort of like skeleton pieces, and it's your responsibility to piece everything together, which I kind of prefer to the
hooks. Give you some hooks.
Yeah, gives you some plot hooks to work with, and I can change them as I see fit.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
but it also helps that I have
because we have to be here anyway.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because this town actually isn't in Carrion Crown's adventure path like at all, which doesn't make sense to me because it's directly on your route to Lepistad.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I had to get a different book so that I would have the information for the area surrounding basically the lower Ustalav like provinces. I had to get a book for like Canterwall and Lazori and Violent because it has the cities in it and rumors and shit. So
whatever it takes to get another book, I know.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
I know that feeling.
Like, oh, please just buy this other book so you can run your campaign.
Yeah,
no big deal.
Spend another $30 to be able to have the information that should be.
Yeah. Like, I would be fine if they didn't want to give me the information on, like, the castles and stuff, or the counts and
Yeah.
all that shit. But you gotta give me
I
the
don't need the
towns, man.
Silmarillion.
You
but-
gotta give me the towns. What the fuck?
Yeah. So we'll be going to accost Zanessathel.
A
that sound
cost
right?
seems a bit strong.
Yeah.
You guys should type out your plan in chat,
Badger.
I think.
Harangue.
Once you guys agree on it. That way you have that note that's just there. And we can start there when we get back. It sounds like there's still some debate over whether or not you're going to go search the plot, or you're going to go talk to her, or you're going to like seek out the Locknave family. So get that hashed out between yourselves before we call it a night.
I mean, we can put our options down. I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Where I sense the carrot is.
Gunpowder's our nuclear option.
No, it literally isn't.
Gunpowder is our explosive option.
There you go.
Gunpowder is our metaphorical nuclear option.
I mean, 100 GP. I can make 10 barrels. They each do 7d6.
Yeah,
they
are
explode.
you gonna go?
Gonna go all Hornberg on this shit?
Maybe.
Hypothetically speaking, that's a very big investment for what could very possibly be 7 damage.
I mean, yep.
I mean, it's probably not going to be 7 damage, but like, that is one possibility.
Yeah. Smitty, that sounds exactly like what I'm thinking.
Yeah. If we get to punch a ghost as well, that'd be
Yeah,
pretty
punching
sweet.
ghosts would be good. Oh no, well maybe not punching, but maybe shooting
For
with
him,
arrow.
for Plea, it's
For Plea,
actually,
it's
well, it's not even
is
Plea.
best option.
He can't punch ghosts. We learned that
No, I can now
Wow.
punch
in
ghosts.
spades.
Oh, he can now. We can.
Oh, you can half punch him.